evening, race fans. Welcome to another Sim Racing Network presentation of the Sim500. Tonight is the Monday night Transervice Cup Series. And boy, we have a good one tonight for you. We are at Richmond International Race. I'm sorry, I do that every time. It's Richmond Raceway now. I wish I hadn't changed it. You know, I love Richmond International Raceway. Anyway, with me tonight in the booth is Gael Brooks. Down in the van is Aaron Grosskopf. Gael, man, you ready for some hot action at Richmond International Raceway?
I'm looking forward to it. I say lights just came on right now before qualifying, and I say it looks like it's going to be a handful to drive, so I think we're going to have an exciting one tonight.
Well, we've got 200 laps tonight, and I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of incentive for some of these guys to do really good. They've got this is the first race for the Dash for Cash, sponsored by English Auto, and the way this breaks down, there's 8 guys that are eligible for some money. Basically, first gets $60, second gets $40, third gets $30, and fourth gets $20. The 8 drivers that qualify for that at the moment are Justin Fuller, Daniel Falkingham, Trey Edson, Chad Cole, Dave Comstock, Nick Silver, Nelson Rivera, and Mike Kelly. Now, that's not where they finish in the race, folks. That's where they finish in regards to each other on track. Somebody to keep our eyes on, Gael. That boy Daniel Falkingham, the 39 Colby's I-Paint Chevy Camaro. That dude has been tearing it up in the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series these last few weeks. I think he's got something like 5 wins across the 2 series. He's just dominating right now.
Yeah, he's been really fast. He's had some bad luck catch him out on 1 or 2 races, but so I was looking at the practice times. I'm sure it was a mock qualifying run, but he was a 10th up on second place in practice. So I think he's so we'll see where he winds up in qualifying tonight. But yeah, he'll be one almost like every other week to keep an eye on.
Well, believe it or not, he didn't even back up his practice speed. Practice was a 19.809. He was just a tick slower, 19.833. But right now, our pole is occupied by Justin Fuller at a 19.782. Man, that is hauling the mail right there.
Yeah, and he's got 3 1000s at the moment on Trey Edson in the 40 at 785. So I'll say you got 2 Dash for Cash ones right there, 1 and 2. So there's a reason why they're the ones that are eligible for it, because those are going to be the guys that are up front most of the time anyway. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting to see them go for that little extra incentive.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at our current stand in the points for these guys. Right now, Fuller's got the lead, 2 points, 2-point lead over Daniel Falkingham. Trey Edson sits in 3rd back there. Chad Cole is 4th, and Dave Comstock is residing in 5th right now. Silver is 2nd. Rivera is 7th. I'm sorry, Silver is 6th. Rivera is 7th. Mike Kelly 8th, Anthony DeBarro 9th, and Chad Coleman rounds out your top 10 in points. But I've got a sneaky suspicion that tonight's race could really shake these points up, Gael.
Yeah, I'll say as fast as they're turning the laps here and as close quarters it is, kind of like it was with Bristol recently, it could definitely shake things up again pretty severely here. So we'll have to see how these drivers handle it tonight.
Well, right now, as it sits, Falkingham has had a great season. He's actually only started 7 races, but he's got 2 wins so far, 4 top 10s and 10 top 5s in 7 races. This kid is on fire. Fuller's not doing too bad either. Fuller's got himself a win, 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s as well. These two are really close together paper-wise, but on track, it really has been the Daniel Falkingham show. But like I said, right now, it looks like Gilliland and Fuller are going to be starting up front. We've got about 7 seconds left in qualifying. Once that finishes up, we'll give you folks a top 10. Now, don't forget, folks, we have the triple threat of broadcasting here at Sim Racing Network. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search for the Sim Racing Network. Give us a like and a follow, and you'll be set up for notifications on when we go live with all this fun stuff. Well, there it is, folks. The qualifying is over. And we're going to go ahead and get right into our top 10 real quick. Adam Gilliland pops a nice one out there. 19.780. He takes the pole. To his outside, Justin Fuller, who we were just talking about, a 19.782, 2 1,000ths of a second slower on the outside pole.
Yeah, saying row 2, you got Trey Edson in the 40 with, again, 5 thousandths of a second off the pole. So right there. And then Nick Solomon in the 88 starting 4th.
Inside row 3, Scott Simley, the 12 car. To his outside, Nick Silver in the number 15 car.
Starting in 5th. No, sorry. I'm lost here now. Where are we at? 7th place? Yeah, 7th place. Sorry. 27, Anthony DeBarro. And, of course, we mentioned earlier, 8th place, we have Daniel Falkingham in the 39.
And inside row 5, Chad Cole in that 82 car. He is the only crossover motorsports driver in the top 10, it looks like. To his outside will be E.J. O'Rourke in that 41. A couple of guys to look at tonight also right there. E.J. O'Rourke was putting on quite a show last night in the Xfinity Series. Well, here we go, man. 200 laps. Some quick notes real quick, folks. We go about a window of 90 to 95 laps on fuel. I'm going to be completely honest, Gael. I don't think it's going to go 90 to 95 laps green. This is Richmond, for God's sakes. But tire wear, it's not too bad here, actually. I did about 35, 40 laps myself today, the A-Fix races, and it was about 18% over the long run. So the tires don't wear out too bad here. And as usual, with a fixed setup here in iRacing, it's real snug. It's snug going in, snug in the middle, but snappy loose coming off. So really, it's going to be a matter of just taking care of those tires and not letting the car get away from you on exit, especially right there out of 4.
Yeah, so it's got one of those pushing loose feels to it, and yeah, I have a bad habit of using my right front a little bit too hard, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting to see who's able to save their stuff a little bit better on the long runs, and yeah, kind of have to do the egg on the throttle here on the exits as they start rolling onto grid.
And we've got a huge field here tonight, folks. 39 cars rolling out right now. They're stacked up 2 by 2. They're going to do 2 parade laps, and then we'll get this thing on the ball. And I tell you what, Gael, I'm really excited about this race, man. You couldn't ask for a better track. I love Richmond International Raceway. This is one of my favorite tracks, both in real life and in sim racing. I'm not that great at it. I don't think I've got but one win out of the many tries that I've had, but I love this track, man. And I think we're going to have a great time tonight.
Yeah, no, Richmond's a really good track. So it's just big enough and just small enough to kind of get the best of both worlds. And it takes a lot of effort to it takes a lot of work to get turn 1, get that entered correctly, because you're already arcing it in. You make that little extra turn, and when you got all these cars around, you just got to decide if you're going to try to arc it in, or if you have to take it shallow, or how you're going to make these turns. So yeah, they're going to put on a show tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we touched on how tight this setup tends to be, and these guys can adjust for that only one way, really, and that's well, a couple ways, really. But as far as setup goes, there's nothing you can change on the setup because it's fixed setup. But what they can do is adjust their brake bias to make the car turn a little bit more on braking. The problem with that is like Gael just touched on, man. When you get down in that corner, this thing's already arcing, and it's real light going down to the one. So if you get too hard on the binders, you wind up, looping around. But these guys are some of the best in sim racing, Gael, and I don't think we'll see too many problems with that tonight. But here we go, folks. The pace cars' lights have been off. This is the end of our second parade lap right here. The pace car's going to duck down in pit road, and we'll get this thing going. And here we go, folks. The green flag is flying, and we are off to the races. And really good start by Gilliland down there on the inside. Back there behind him, they're already going, trying to go 3 wide. Skinley ducks down to the inside, and he's going to maintain his spot there. Really stacking up right there, going through 1. Everybody kind of bottlenecked it a little bit, but they're going to be single file now, going down the backstretch into turn 2. Put your leader, Adam Gilliland, about 3 car lengths ahead of Fuller in 51.
Yeah, it was a really close call there between Treyetz and Nick Solomon entering 1 and 2 there, but they were able to kind of get clear of each other and single file there. But yeah, from there on back, though, it's 2 by 2 most of the way.
Yeah, we're already seeing some guys trying that high line. It didn't come in real good last night, to be honest with you, Gael. I mean, there were only 2 guys really that made it work good for them, and it, it just wasn't as strong as we've seen in the past. In the meantime, back here, Falkingham is already trying to get himself a little further in the field. He qualified 8th. He's trying to get up to the front as quick as he can. He likes that clean air. We saw it last night. He's great out in front of everybody, but when he's back there behind people, traffic really disturbs him in that car.
Yeah, so that's kind of what you got to do at this point. Just go where they're not, and then yeah, just try to get that clean air. Hope obviously that they don't drift up into you. And plus, when you've got them on the inside of you, they can't get that full track on exit, so it should help your momentum on the exit of the turn.
Well, the top 10 hasn't changed too much. It's still pretty much the same faces. Some guys have gone a little bit backwards, some have, pulled up a little bit. But I'm watching the 41 back here of E.J. O'Rourke, and he is just awfully loose for the last 2 laps. I don't know if he's just getting on the gas a little too hard there or what's going on, but on exit especially, coming off of 4, he's wiggled the last couple laps by, so we'll keep an eye on him. And hopefully he doesn't loop that thing around this early in the race. It's a 200-lap race, and we're only at lap number 6 right now. So it's a long way to go.
Yeah, so Adam Gilliland's definitely checked out. I did catch just a lap or 2 ago. The 51 of Justin Fuller got really loose off 2. Was able to hang on to it. Almost went around. Didn't lose too many spots, but I'm sure that got his attention with only being 6
he dropped
laps
all
in.
the way back to 5th right there. or make that, I guess, 6 now, because
yeah,
Buckingham got by him, yeah. Or was trying to get by him. Okay. I'm sorry, I was a little bit behind there on the replay.
Leaving the field. He's got 2 seconds on them right now.
That's what I was talking about, that clean air, man. These guys love that clean air when they get out in front. You know, we've talked about that in the past. When you're behind cars, especially this Cup car, you can't see a whole lot. And Richmond's a track where you really got to be on the nose with your braking points and where you turn in. And when you're behind somebody, it's so hard to do. But when you're out in front like Gilliland, you got nobody in front of you. You're on the ball, man. Your car is on a rail. Your car loves that clean air. You can hit your braking spots, no problem. And he's showing it, man. He's already out to a almost 2-second lead. And we're only 10 laps in, and he's already caught the back of the field at that.
Yeah, he's kind of doing what he's been doing when he runs these races. He definitely puts a clinic on it. I'm saying for the Dash for Cash, though, you got Trey Edson right now running in second. He's the first of those Dash for Cash cars, so he's liking where he's at the moment. Obviously, he'd like to get up a little higher there. I saw another car get loose off of 4. I believe that was E.J. O'Rourke in the 41.
Well, if he's just getting loose off of 4, he's already about a half a lap behind leader, which is a problem on short tracks, man, especially when you have a full field. It doesn't take long for the leader to catch up to the back part. Oh, we got a car down the grass right in front of the leader. That was Anthony M. Calantoni in 84. We stay green. He gets it back on track, gets it going the right way, but that had to be a nervous moment for our leader, Adam Gilliland. But back to what you were talking about, that Dash for Cash, those guys, you know, they're all watching too, I'm sure. This is some money on the line right here, man. $60 for the winner, $40 for the second place guy. Third place gets 30, and fourth place gets 20. So that's not too bad. As you see the replay right here of Calantoni just getting loose, coming off of 4 right there, and puts it down in the grass. And like I said, that had to make our leader, Adam Gilliland, just a tad nervous, but didn't slow him down, though, at all. Gael, he's got a 2.4 second lead right now.
Yeah, he's hauling the mail right now. So we'll see if he's burning up his stuff too much or not. Like we talked about earlier, Daniel Falkingham is definitely moving up now. He's looking under Justin Fuller here for the 3rd position. Fuller's been looking really loose in this run, so I say he ought to be a little careful trying to fight too hard. Doesn't want to roast those tires anymore. I'm sure they're already a little angry with him, with it getting sideways on him. So he's able to hold off for now, but yeah, Falkingham's definitely moving up from his 8th starting spot.
Falkingham just scraped the wall of it right there. Oh, 88 gets in there, gets hard on the binders and gets loose, loses 1, 2, 3 spots, maybe a 4th one, not real sure, but that's what I was talking about, folks. You get on those binders just a little bit too much, that car wants to spin around on you.
Yeah, that was a really nice save. Usually when it starts snapping around like that, there's not really any catching it, so he had a really good reaction to grab that thing. But that was definitely a moment.
Yeah, that was Solomon, Nick Solomon. Oh, we got them together back here.
Chad Cole and 27 at DeBarro.
Yep, 27 DeBarro coming together off of turn 2 right there. Man, that was close. Oh, and there's a wreck. That's going to be our first caution of the evening here at Richmond International Raceway. That caution involves the number 8 car of Randy Yoakum, is what my producer's saying. Let me see what we got going on here.
Yeah, it looks like there's a check up ahead of the 8 here. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it looks like there was a check up, and he got in the back of 25, then got loose, collected the 2 of Mike Kelly, who happens to be one of our Dash for Cashers, and that's going to hurt his night, his chances right there. He's missing his entire front end, as is the 8, the 6 car. A lot of damaged vehicles in that one. In the meantime, let's...
Yeah, that was a big hit there for them. Yeah, it looked like the 41 kind of checked up initially, and then, yeah, but so we got pit stops obviously just finished up here, or just starting, I should say.
That's right. Pit stops are taking place, and we're going to let these things, let these guys do their thing on pit road, and they got to be really careful down here on pit road, Gael. If they make any mistakes, especially here at Richmond, it's going to cost them huge on track.
Yeah, you do not want to speed at this track on the pits. I mean, you don't at any of them, but this one's especially, it's just so hard to pass like we've talked about earlier. So, say it might be worth giving up a little bit there. So let's see, it's 22 go by. I don't know if he took 2 tires, so he may have missed his pit stall.
.22 of Nelson Rivera. Let's see what happened here with him. I'm going to rewind it just a bit here, and it looks like he completely missed his pit stall. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so it looks like up front, though, Adam Gillen holds his lead. Trey Edson second. Daniel Fockingham still third. Justin Fuller is in fourth.
And let's give him a shakedown real quick. Wortman stayed out, but he'll be pitting in here shortly. So our our Dash for Cash drivers right now, as it sits, Trey Edson is holding down the fort right there as the first driver, but he's got Falkingham right behind him there. Fuller's up there also. Let's see, Dave Comstock's in 10th place right now. Nick Silver's another one vying for that money. He's in 7th, but so that'll be Trey Edson, Falkingham, Fuller, and Silver are the 4 guys that are in a spot to collect some money at the end of the night. And that's if it were to stop right now. But we still have 82 laps to go, Gael. It's a long, long night. I'm sorry, 182 laps.
Yes, and I'm looking at the pit stops here. Looks like Jose in the 26 actually took 2 tires there, so he'll be starting 9th. So I'll be curious to see how the 2 tires react for him, say in the top 10. So he's also got some nose damage, so I'm not sure if he's just trying to get as much track position as he can, and then also just minimize the damage from his damage.
You've roger that. Well, another thing to keep their eye on, these engines are doing close to 9,500 RPM at the end of the straightaway. If you've got nose damage, it's real easy to overheat on this track, believe it or not, with that nose damage and those kind of high RPMs. That might be something we need to keep an eye on later on. But here we go. Pretty sure we're going to get the 1 to go this time by, with Gilliland holding the lead. Edson second, Falkingham third, Justin Fuller is fourth, and Scott Simley is in 5th place. The rest of the field will scroll by there on the ticker here in a little bit. Let's see what happens here with the pace car. I do believe the lights are going to go out. There they go. And look at this. Gael, Adam's taking the top side for this restart.
I'm wondering if there's some teammate play going on here, as I believe the top. I'm not sure the top 3 or just the 81 and the 51 are teammates. Yeah, so top 3 are all teammates here. So I think they're trying to do what they can to keep Falkingham behind them, kind of like we saw at Bristol the other week or 2 ago. So say already early in the race, they're already planning these strategies out.
It's fun to have teammates.
Yes, it never hurts. Although it makes it a little trickier
doesn't.
to race them towards the end of the race, though.
That's true. Well, here we go, folks. Pace car ducks off. We're going to be going green here shortly, and the field's going to bunch up. Gilliland waiting as long as he can, playing some mind games, and off we go. He gets a pretty decent start right there. Edson down the inside, still in 2nd place. Falkingham trying to squeak under the 51 there of Justin Fuller to maybe move up to 3rd. Fuller's having none of it. He's going to shut the door on him. And then the Falkingham will try that move one more time, coming down into 3, just not strong enough to make it work right there. In the meantime, Gilliland stays out in the lead, and we'll probably see him check out again here, Gael.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how he reacts, how his gap works on this run versus last one, with Trey Edson tries to push a little harder to stay with them, or just if they kind of run their own pace here.
Now, we had touched on it earlier. Mike Kelly was one of our Dash for Cash drivers who was involved in that earlier accident. He's back on track, I believe, but he's several laps down. Massive damage to that car, so he's probably going to be out of the count for the Dash for Cash, which is unfortunate. So that leaves 7 guys fighting for 4 spots to get some money.
Yeah, he's definitely got some serious damage to that car, so I think at this point, yeah, it's just kind of gather as many points as you can, and then you never know what happens to everybody else if they get into some big wrecks. And
that's very true.
Millsnake can still sneak in $20 or something. You never know.
That's very, very true. He's only really got to worry about 8 other cars on track as far as the money goes. I mean, if that's what he's looking for, he just got to worry about those other 7 drivers and see what happens to them during the night. Right now, though, Edson's looking pretty strong up there in 2nd spot. He's got a nice little gap between himself and Fuller, and then Falkingham's back there. Falkingham just doesn't seem to be able to find a way to get past Fuller, and he's not going to, risk wrecking himself and taking him out at the same time.
Yeah, it's too early to do that. I think basically Falkingham's best bet is just to keep the pressure on Fuller like he is, and like I said, that last run, Fuller was definitely getting loose on exit a couple times, even like 5 laps into that run.
Another caution. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, I see a bunch of smoke on the front stretch, and it looks like there's a couple of cars involved here. One of them might be the 07 of Doy Woods. I'm trying to verify that.
I see the 3 of Jimmy Coleman, I believe, looks like went around off of 4.
Yeah, you're right. It's the 3 of Jimmy Coleman. Looks like he got just a little loose right there. We talked about that. This setup, man, is just unbelievably snug going into the turns and through the middle. So you put a whole lot of wheel in that thing, and then when you come off of 4, it lightens. You unload that car so fast that it'll just loop right around on you. But no harm, no foul. Oh my goodness.
All right, saying so. Adam Gillen, let's say there's only a couple laps in, but it looks like pit stops are going to happen. Oh, nope, we got the 51 staying out, so it's kind of a mixed bag right here. The 15 as well. So we'll see if anybody takes 2 versus 4. So it's going to be a bit of a split strategy here. So we'll see those that stayed out, and then we'll see those that pit if they all take 2 or if they all take 4. We might see some that take 2 here. I'll say a lot of them are staying out too. So definitely mix things up.
Well, strategy is a fickle thing. Let me just tell you, man. You think you're making the right call by pitting and taking some tires, or maybe staying out or whatever your idea is, and then all of a sudden everybody behind you did the exact opposite, and you find yourself, pretty much the sitting duck. But folks, we're going to take a real fast commercial break, and when we come back, we'll give you a rundown and the start of this. We're starting this race real quick, and we'll be right back. Keep it on corner to corner for you, and we'll be back shortly.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back, race fans. We're about to go back to green here. We've had a little bit of drama on track here. Some guys stayed out, took 2 tires in the pits. Some guys took 4 tires. And, well, we're going to see how it pans out for some of these guys. I think somebody told me the top 18 stayed out. Gael, is that right? 14, okay.
Yeah, top 14 stayed out. 15, 16 have 2. And then Parker has 2 as well. But, yeah, that's going to be interesting here.
Well, here we go. Pace car is off. They're stacking them up right there, kind of choking everybody down. And off we go. Look at that start that Fuller gets. Great start right there. Comstock sneaks in a second on the outside for now. Silver, though, down that inside line might have something up, and we're already under caution again. And it's a
involved with
nasty
41
of
EJ.
Yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. It's going down into turn 1 on the restart, so that's never good.
I think he may have got some help from the 16. I don't know. It looks like a big checkup, basically. Take a look
That's
here.
what it looks like. And that's a short track racing, folks. I mean, like you said, they checked up real bad right there. 16 really had nowhere to go. And he didn't do that on purpose, but unfortunately, O'Rourke pays the price. His back end's messed up. His front end's messed up. And, well, the good news is he doesn't need aerodynamics, Gael.
Yeah, might make the car run a little cooler. I say, I'm guessing some of that nose is gonna be coming off there, but yeah, so that's the danger of the pit strategies here, taking two or staying out or kind of going off sequence here. So kind of puts you in no man's land.
Indeed, it does. Well, that's going to put us under caution again. And while the guys are rolling around track here, folks, we're going to take another commercial break, give ourselves a chance to gather our air up and maybe grab a couple glasses of water because I'm parched. We're going to leave it on corner to corner for you. When we get back, we'll have you another restart and hopefully a nice long green flag run to see who's really better at holding on to their car when it gets loose. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Then.
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back, race fans, to Richmond Raceway, the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series on Monday nights. And it's been interesting so far. We've had a few on-track incidents, if you will. Gael, some hurt feelings already on track, but it's Richmond, man. That's what happens.
Yeah, I'll say nothing. I don't think anything too like blatant or anything like that. Kind of like we saw at Bristol. Just say mostly just seems like some stack ups that we've had happen here. Just, again, everything's happened so fast, such a small but fast track. I'll say a lot of stuff goes on real quick, but we got lights off on the pace car and coming to green.
That's right. We are coming back to green, and when we come back to green this time, folks, we've got a little treat for you. We like to call it Turn It Up. So here we go. Pace car's lights are off. They're stacked up 2 by 2, coming through 3 and 4 now. Pace car will be ducking off on the pit road right there. When we go back to green, we're going to go ahead and turn it up. And there you have it, folks. Turn it up. I love that, man. And those cams look great right there. Watching those guys dive out in the turns like that. Well, right now we're just a little bit around, let's see, lap 41 right there. And it's been a pretty good race so far. A couple cautions there, guy out. But I think these guys are going to try and settle in maybe and make this thing go green for a little ways, because that's when you really see who can handle a loose car and who can't.
Yeah, I was saying I'll be really curious too is to see what that tire difference is. About a 10 lap, I believe, on green, on like 10 green flag laps on tire difference between. It's like Chad Cole's got the 2, and then Mitch Rollo with the 2 as well. So we'll see how they can compare. Say, actually, I'm trying to take a look to see where our guy, the first one with 4 tires, who's the 81. Oh, Adam Dillon fell back to 22nd here on this restart. So something must have happened to him there. I didn't see it. Oh, we got one getting loose off 2 and crashing.
Yep, caution's out right there, folks. Oh, no, don't tell me it was 00. Was it the 00? I
Yeah,
was
it looks
just
like it
fixing
was
to talk about Ben's great run that he was having too, man. That's unfortunate. And as you probably heard us talking, it was involving the 00 of Ben Kilcrease. And as you see on this replay, it's unfortunate, but he just got a little loose by himself right there in 1 and 2, and looped it up into the wall. He was able to hold the brakes right there. It didn't come down in front of anybody. Nobody got into him. So hopefully his damage will be minimal. But gosh, Gael, he's going to be starting way deep in the field now, all the way from 8th place is where he was.
Yeah, so he had some good pit strategy there to make his way up, and I think we talked about, I think that was that rear brake. I think just a little bit too much rear brake, and that started sending it around. As soon as he started getting it straight, it hooked back right, and that just sent him right into the outside wall. And it's one of those things where it's like you don't want to turn right, but you do, and then as soon as you time it just wrong, it just hooks, and it just kind of hurts pretty bad there. So, but I mean, still early, he can get a lot of it finished or fixed up, and hopefully he can still make a charge here.
Well, we're going to see what happens. In the meantime, let's talk to somebody who's down on track in the middle of all this crazy action right now. Mitch Rollo, John up in the booth. You got me, bud?
Loud and clear, John.
Well, Mitch, I'm wondering, what's going on with you there, buddy? How's your car running?
It's all right. We got a little bit stuck back here mid-pack after going down and pitting for 2 tires last time by, but the Sim Speed Shop Chevy is Ford, rather, is very good tonight, and we're looking to take this thing to the front here. Hopefully we can get by some of these guys that didn't pit last time, take advantage of our little bit fresher tires.
Well, I was going to say, it looks like you're on a little bit different strategy there than some of the guys in front of you, so it might work out for you. But really, it's got to go green to see whether, if that's going to happen. And I mean, do you think you're going to get a green flag run here or what?
I hope so. I think we got a good long run car. Not quite as good on the short run, so if we can get a long run here, maybe at least 60, 70 laps, I could probably do something with it. But anything shorter than that, it's pretty hard to pass early on a run. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, your teammate Ben Kilcrease just suffered some unfortunate luck. He was all the way up in 8th place and just kind of got loose in turn 1 and 2 there. What's he saying on the radio to you?
Yeah, he's pretty upset with. He said he went down a couple clicks on the brake bias, not very much, and just ended up looping it around there and going into the corner. So obviously frustrating, start to this race. It's still early on here, but hopefully I can get it back out here and pick up some positions.
All right, Mitch, we're going to let you get your belts tightened up there and let you get ready for this restart, bud.
Appreciate it, guys. Have fun.
That was number 96, Mitch Rollo in the SimSpeed Ford Fusion. He covered it, folks. Brake bias. Seems to got Ben Kilcrease there. And we talked about that guy. That brake bias can help you, but it can also bite you if you're not careful with it.
Yeah, you gotta find that medium where it just gets where you're the most comfortable with it. I have a habit of needing to be a little bit more forward biased than some of my teammates at Steelhorse, and say they can get away with running like 50% brake bias down on that number, whereas I gotta run like at least mid 60s to have that comfort. So I've tried it before and it bit me as well.
Yep, absolutely. And I tell you what, real quick, guy, let's touch on the English Auto Dash for Cash standings at the moment. Comstock right now is holding down Fuller. My bad. Fuller is holding down that top spot for the big cash at $60. Comstock is second right there. Let's see who else we got here. Silver. Nick Silver is riding 5th on track, but 3rd in the Dash for Cash. And 4th looks like it's gonna be Chad Cole, I think, is riding 4th for that money. So we'll keep our eyes on the English Auto Dash for Cash as this race proceeds. In the meantime, the lights are off on our pace car, and we're going back to green here shortly, Gael.
Sounds good. So you got Justin Fuller taking the top side again on this restart. I think it's to probably help his teammate there, Comstock, be able to hold on to the 2nd place. So there he goes. Gets a pretty good jump, not too big of a jump like we've seen before, but easily enough for Comstock to kind of slide back up into 2nd place there. And I think for now, just try to buy their time, try to put a gap there on 3rd and 4th. And like I said, I think everybody here is hoping to get a bit of a green flag run, see what these tires can do, and see who can kind of stretch your legs on the field.
Well, we talked about him at the top of the show and how, look how loose DeBarro got right there, the 27 car. Man, the only reason he didn't loop it was he had somebody down the inside there that he bounced off of and didn't wreck. But I was going to say, Falkingham is back here, taking it 3 and 4 wide, trying to pass cars up right now, get back to the front. And, we've talked about him in the past. He's just a hard charger and does not like being back there in that dirty air.
Yeah, and that's why actually while you're doing your interview, I took a look to see what happened to Adam Gilland, and it was just kind of the same thing. I think he may have got a little loose off two, and that just kind of bounced him back into the wall, and so he had some decent right front damage. Did a really good job not wrecking it. But yeah, so that's what set him back in the pack, and saying he would pitted that last time to get some damage fixed. So that's the risk of pitting for tires when other people stay out. You just don't know how it's going to go, but. Right now on the pitting, the cars that pitted though, Mitch Rolo is doing the best right now. He's up to 7th, like I said, with the 10 green flag lap fresher tires.
And we're in a caution again. Let's see what we got going on here. Another caution. I tell you what, man, these guys need to really just calm. Oh, wow. Sorry, folks. It's unfortunate to say this, but it was the 00 of Ben Kilcrease again. This time he got a little help. He and the 48 car of Jimmy North just kind of got together coming off of turn 2 right there, it looks like. And if you're seeing this replay, they're just 2 cars fighting for the same ground. And unfortunately, they both wind up hitting the wall. Ben down to the inside and Jimmy to the outside. They're both going to take a substantial amount more damage right there. And that's just Richmond again. I mean, there's not that track is so narrow right there coming off of 2 Gael that it was bound to happen.
Yeah, so it might be just one of those things where they may have expected, Ben may have expected Jimmy to kind of slide up all the way to the top of the track. It looked like Jimmy had maybe another groove or so he could have gone. But yeah, it's tight quarter racing. I think Ben was probably trying to get some of that positions back, unfortunately, after his incident. And yeah, it did not help either of their causes there. But I think this is going to, well, no, I was going to say, might bring some interesting pit strategy in here, but looks like, yeah, about the top, 6 or 8 stayed out, and a lot of them are in, though.
Well, here we go with pit strategy again. In the meantime, we're going to talk to Daniel Falkingham, I think. Get him down here in the booth real quick. Daniel Falkingham, John, up in the booth. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. How about you?
Well, we're up here watching this Richmond race, broadcasting it as we usually do. And I'm just wondering, what you doing way back there, man?
Yeah, I think it was on the second or third yellow. I decided to come down and take tires because I know it was a few laps. I just want to see what the tires were after a few laps, and I was kind of not really that surprised that many people stayed out. And sadly, this is kind of what I expected, a lot of yellow. So I knew I should have stayed out, but yeah, I decided to pit and see what tire wear was. But and now that I learned from that, and I'm learning from all these yellows, I'm slowly getting my track position back, but. Yeah, all these yellows, sadly kind of what I expected, but yeah, this is getting old.
I hear you, my buddy, but you're not doing too bad right now. You're up to, it looks like it's going to be 9th place right now after all these guys that pitted in front of you. You've got 11 laps, fresher tires, and pretty much everybody in front of you. You're going to do some of those fresher tires, I should say?
Yeah, I think if we can just get good enough restarts and if we can just get a good enough green flag run, I feel like I can definitely get by these guys. I feel like I had something for the front guys like Trey and Justin. So and all those guys pitted too. So if we can just get these good enough restarts and if I can make the right moves, I feel for sure we can definitely get back up there.
Well, we look forward to watching your progress there, Daniel. Good luck tonight, bud.
Yep, thanks, John.
And that was Daniel Falkingham, a young man who's been on a tear recently through this series and the Sunday Night Xfinity Series. Gael, he's got wins and top 5s coming out the wazoo.
Yeah, so he's definitely been putting on a show there, and I'll say him, and then the other one that's when he's been racing, he's been putting on a clinic as well as the 81 of Adam Gilland. Looks like he's up to 16th now. He did not pit that last yellow, so it's going to be a really mixed bag now. You got the top 12 pretty much that have not pitted for a while now, whereas from 13th on back have pitted at least 10 laps ago or so, and then of course from Brian Boris Cook in 19th, those guys just pitted under this most recent yellow. So really mixed bag of tires here. Should be pretty interesting to see.
Well, I want to focus on one car real quick before we go back to green. That is the number 96 of Mitch Rowe. We just talked to him a few minutes ago under the last caution. He's already up to 7th spot. And Mitch, I mean, he started way back there in 11th. And I say way back there in 11th, but man, that's 11 spots back. He's kind of been hovering around right there in the top 10 most of the evening. His teammates haven't had so much luck, but behind him is another one I want to touch on. That's the 13 car of Dwayne Vincent. It's my fellow Cajun driver right there. He's from about 10 minutes north of me here, or south of me, I should say, down here in Lafayette. Great guy. He's moved his way up to 8th from 21st spot. Well, Gael, here we go, buddy. Pace car's lights are off. They're stacked up 2 by 2, and I think you should take them back to green again, man. Maybe we'll get a little bit better luck with you taking them back to green.
So it didn't work last time, but as I say, I'm all for second chances here, so let's see how it goes. But yeah, we've got the looks like top 6 on the oldest tires, and then Mitchell on 7th on 10-lap newer tires, and so we'll see what happens here. Justin Fuller took the top again with Comstock on the inside. Going green on board here with Fuller in the restart, so you get another really nice restart. So we'll see how he's able to get through these first couple turns here. Comstock made a late dive entering the one just to try to clear, I believe, the 27 as he gets into second place. But yeah, I'd say Fuller got about a car length or so on Comstock, and coming through 3 and 4, coming back around to take come across the start finish line here.
I tell you what, DeBarro is not liking that outside, but he can't get down right now. He's got the 88 car down on his inside. The 88 car being Nick Solomon right there. That's a kind of confusing paint job because he looks just like Jimmy North's car. And for a second, I was really confused. I'm like, how the hell did North get all those spots? He was just spinning down the backstretch. But nope, that's his teammate, I guess, is Nick Solomon. But he's put up a good fight right there in third, keeping DeBarro behind him. In the meantime, that 15 car behind DeBarro kind of wants to get in on this action. And look at that. Boy, they got nose to tail right there. A little bit of contact between the 88 and 27. Which is going to put the 15 right there on the back bumper. And right behind them, we were just talking about him, folks, the 96 car of Mitch Rollo. He's sneaking up into this. He started 7th. He's back up to 6th now. Meantime, up front, it's still the Justin Fuller show, but he's not that far ahead of David Comstock.
Yeah, and you're talking about the clean air. Say earlier in the run, it looked like I thought Fuller was having a really hard time keeping that car under wraps. It looked like it was getting loose on him a bunch. But I'll say with his clean air, though, he's able to put a couple tenths on Comstock here, almost about 5/10 of a second at this point. And yeah, I really think that the clean air definitely seems to be playing a big role here. So we'll see how that continues, or if he's just kind of pacing himself a little more than he was earlier. But yeah, he's making a good run.
Wow, Rollo really went high in that turn that time. It's not so much the clean air, the air being clean, as it is just being able to see where your braking spots and your entry spots are. Oh, we got a car sliding high up in the turn 1 and 2 right there. He stayed off the wall, kept the green. Let's see if we can go back here and see who that was real quick. I lost him already.
I believe it was the 26 of Jose Gonzalez. I think him and the 24 got together off of 2.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. Good call. He's got a little bit of left rear damage there. I mean, somebody said hello to him. So we're going to roll the replay real quick, give you folks a shot at that. I'm surprised that he didn't loop it. That was some really good driving on behalf of Gonzalez right there. But he got a little bit of help there coming through that turn. But in the meantime, we're still green. Thank goodness. Hopefully we get a nice long stretch this time. But as you can see right there, there's just 2 cars fighting for room on the track. And there wasn't a whole lot of room to give.
Yeah, I don't know how he saved that. That was a really good job holding on to that. Yeah, it just looked like he caught a little bit. Kind of went down, and the other car wasn't really ready to start making that turn yet, and as they got together.
I've had that happen to me. People assume you're going to take I think it was Vegas or something like that. Somebody assumed I was going to go down on the apron like everybody does on the front stretch, and I didn't. And man, that dude hit me so hard, I wound up basically behind pit wall on my hood.
That is not the ideal way to have it happen there, but
no, it's really not.
We've been talking about Mitch Rollo. I'd say he's up to 4th now with those 10-lap fresher tires, so I think that's definitely shown you something here. And I think Daniel Falkham and Tommy Ryan are just kind of trying to find some way to get through these guys that are 2x2 in front of them, so they can start making ground as well. But so at this point, they're kind of pinned where they are. So they just got to try to find that right line.
Yeah, they're behind. Well, they're kind of stuck behind that 13 car who we were talking about earlier. Now he's been out for about 52 laps on the tires he's on. A little bit of a difference between those two, but it's it is what it is. That's what the tire strategy here will do. That you'll get it all jumbled up, so really it puts the driving back in the hands of the driver. Make sure he doesn't wear his stuff out trying to get around these slower cars. Makes life exciting though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, so I think those are the ones to watch right now. Is Mitch Rollo for sure, as well as Falkingham and Tommy Ryan, but then Nelson Rivera and Chad Coleman, or sorry, not Chad Coleman, Nelson Rivera and Adam Gilland. Those are 2 to watch as well, because they have the freshest tires of everybody in that group as well, with Brian Boris Cook as well in 15th place with this. I think he's the one that pitted on the most recent yellow, so they're definitely making some moves with those tires.
I don't know if I want to focus on Mitch too much, man. Every time we do, he has bad luck. He had a great race going I think it was Atlanta, where he just dominated the field and then got involved in the lap car. But you're right. He's already caught up to the number 88 of Nick Solomon, who we were talking about earlier. Nick Solomon's riding in 3rd right there, just behind Dave Comstock and Justin Fuller. And I believe Mitch has got eyes on that third spot there, Gael.
Yeah, so he's got a nice little gap behind him as well, so he doesn't have to worry too much about like protecting the back either. So like he can try to take like a late arc to get that nice exit on the 88, which it looks like he's doing right there. Takes that wide entry and then drops it down low to get a good exit off. But the 88's running a really good race right now, running good lines, and is able to hold them off for the moment.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, it's impressive to see the 88 running up there like that. Nick Sallman's not somebody we talk about a whole lot as being an up front runner. And I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying he doesn't really run the series up front that much, but he's having a great run right now in that 88 car. And you're right, he's got a mirror full of that 96 of Mitch Rollo. In the meantime, up front, it looks like Comstock's caught up to our leader, Justin Fuller. He might have eyes on taking that lead over here shortly. Oh, caution.
Well,
caution
he
on
did
track.
have eyes on it until I say yellow just came out. Take a look, see what happened here. Oh, it looks like it's involving the 16. And I'm not sure who else yet.
Steve Ritter, huh?
Yeah. Oh, 16. Oh, it looks like something happened in front of him, actually. So I'm going to take a look a little further ahead here.
Oh, yeah, 24 and 23 got together, it looks like. Another situation like we talked about earlier. They're 3 wide coming off the 2, which is hard to do. Boris Cook's right there on the outside. He squeaks by those 2. They get bound down there on the inside, and then I guess the 16 just kind of was a victim of circumstance there, checking up and everything, as you see right there. But, he'll be able to carry on. In the meantime, guess what? We've got pit stops happening up front. It's like everybody came into pits except for Sean Castro.
Yeah, so I'm trying to take a look when Sean last pitted here. 22.
I think he's a lap down, actually.
Let's see here. No, I think he decided to try to stay out here. Yeah, he's showing 22nd at the moment. And then I believe I just saw Ben Kilcrease get his lap back as Lucky Dog, so that'll be a good help for him as well. Get a lap back here and fix more damage and see what he can do.
Well, we're going to let these guys circulate around before we even try to guess who sits where, folks. But let's touch on that English Auto Dash for Cash again, just in case you guys are wondering what we were talking about earlier. 8 drivers coming tonight were qualified for that. Would be Justin Fuller, Daniel Falkham, Trey Edson, Chad Cole, Dave Comstock, Nick Silver, Nelson Rivera, and Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly ran into some problems earlier during the race. He's pretty much out of contention for tonight. But the top 4 finishers in those top 8 that we just talked about, wherever they finish at, but the top 4 qualify for the English Auto Dash for Cash payout. First place will get $60, second will get $40, third will get $30, and fourth will get $20. And that's not a bad night at the races right there, is it, Gael?
No, that's a good deal. I was saying, I like the fact that you get half of them actually get a payout too, because I've seen a lot of them where only the winner gets it. I was saying that definitely leaves a bit of a bad taste in the mouth some of the other guys. So I think this is a nice, fair way to do it. Obviously give the most to the one who gets the most, finishes the highest, but then give the other guys something as well.
And we want to thank the sponsor of that, English Auto. Make sure you pass by the Sim500 website. I believe there's a link there for it. If not, there will be soon. You can pass by and give them a thumbs up, give them a like, talk to them, let them know that you saw their sponsorship of the Dash for Cash and that we appreciate their support. And in the meantime, here we are. We're still circulating around here under caution. And I believe Castro's going to roll some dice here in that Jack Daniels car. It's amazing what a little bit of whiskey can give the courage to do there, huh, Gaia?
I say he's got some liquid courage in him right now. I say he's not quite halfway. So let's take a gamble, see what happens. I've got 20 laps in my tires. Maybe thought other people would take the gamble too, but one of those things I would say you never know. Might get a timely yellow.
All by myself.
Yeah, it might be what he's thinking. I did see Brian Wortman staying out too, but he decided he was like, nah, I'm not going to play that game right now.
Well, we're going to find out how it works for him here shortly. Let's see what we got here for a top 10 rundown. As we come around, I believe the line's going to go out this time, so that's going to be Casto up front, Fuller second, Comstock third, Mitch Rollo still riding back there in fourth, Nick Solomon fifth, Anthony DeBarro sixth, Nick Silver seventh. Adam Gilliland has worked his way back up into the top 10 there in eighth place. Tommy Ryan back there in ninth, and Trey to round out your top 10. And I was right, the lights are off for the pace car. We'll be going back to green here shortly. Gael, you want to take back to green for me?
Yeah, a pretty good green run there, so I'll give it one more try here. So it looks like we got Sean Castro taking the outside on this restart. It'll definitely be interesting to see, even though he's got the control, I'll be curious to see what the 20 lap old tires do compared to brand new tires here. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't end too badly for him. So maybe he might be just banking on a timely yellow, where he gets half the field to pit with him too. But we'll see what happens here. Say coming off with 3 and 4 here, and he's going pretty early. Gets a good start, although Fuller's starting to grain it all right back. I say, I don't know, those tires are working. Say probably just got a little bit of tire spin. Fuller can send it really deep into one there, take the lead right off the bat. And at this point now, Castle's just going to have to play defense and try to figure out where the other ones aren't. And then, yeah, everybody's going to try to start fighting.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Gilliland and Navarro both, I didn't mean to cut you off, but they were both below the yellow line in 3 and 4, and they're still back there 3-4 wide, mixing it up like there's no tomorrow.
Let's
I mean,
take
that
a look
was
at
insane.
That was something. That's the one way to put it.
And here's our replay, folks, and like I said, they were both down below the yellow line and 3 and 4 right there, and that's no man's land really right there, but they both managed to keep it under control. But look at what it did to the field behind them. I mean, it looks like Pocono. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I think what happened was it looked like the 88 got into the back of Adam Gilliland's, and that got him into
Just
the back
sitting
of the
down
27.
there.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe they hung on to that. That was amazing.
I'm sure that Gilliland is probably saying a few choice words right now in his microphone, you know. But look at this 3-wide action we got back here for 15th place with Boris Cook on the inside. Well, in the middle, really. They're going to sort that out. And there's a car right there with no bumper on it. Who is that? That is Kevin DeBrown. No, Scott Simley, excuse me. That's who that was. He's making that extra or less weight, I should say, work for him right there. He's really kind of moving fast in the field.
Yeah, and up front, you got Fuller back up front. So you got a little bit of a gap on David Comstock. Mitch Roller's able to get up to 3rd. And then Sean Castle's still holding pretty strong there in 4th. He's got the Tommy Ryan 99 trying to work him over as well. But I'll say even with 20 lap old tires, he's done pretty well. I must say, I thought he'd drop further than he has, so I'm pretty impressed with that.
Well, he's actually back there now in 7th, falling backwards quickly. I mean, it was a good gamble to make. It really was. He was way back in the pack, kind of mired in traffic, and decided to stay out, hoping for another quick caution. Which really, let's be honest, was legit. Oh, we got, speaking of caution, who's that sliding up in the hill there?
What a save.
Was that the 88 again? Yes, it was. Man, Solomon with a hell of a save right there, man. And I'm willing to bet that's his brake bites right there. Look at that guy, El. He's on the binders, and it just gets loose on him right there, and hell of a good save right there, though. I mean, look at that. That was impressive.
Yeah, that looks almost exactly like what happened to the 00 Ben Kilcrease. He was just able to catch it just a little bit quicker enough to not hook it into the wall of Bowsen. A very nice save there. I'll say his restart has not gone to plan, though. He was towards the top 5, I believe, and now he's, where is he at now? Like 16th, it looks like.
And falling backwards quickly. And in the meantime, Casto is still hanging on with those 34 lap old tires compared to the guys that came out of the pit 13 laps ago. We're about 14 laps into this run, and he's still hoping and praying for a yellow flag to come out so he doesn't lose too much more ground here. But it's kind of single file for most of the part. I mean, I see a couple guys going 2 wide back here in the back, but nothing really major having made these up. And as I say that, there's a caution. Go figure.
Yeah, I'll say it's about 15 lap of runs. Won't be too bad of a for Sean Castle.
Oh, no, it's Falkingham.
Oh, no, I'll take a look here.
Yep, another 3 wide situation there. And the 3 wide just doesn't work. And it looks like the 26 car got down on the apron and came back up into the 09. And the 09 collected the 39 there. As you'll see in this replay right here. That's unfortunate. Man, you know, you just... sometimes you're the windshield, and sometimes you're the bug.
Yeah, it looked like Jose got a little loose on entry. Again, brake bias probably. But yeah, I think actually the 39 may have gotten away with just the spin. I mean, he's going to lose track position. But I think damage-wise, he may be in pretty good shape. Maybe a little bit of left rear, I'm thinking. But otherwise, yeah, it looks like he kind of came through pretty unscathed, luckily for him.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I mean... The 26, it got that apron, is what it looked like. Jose got a hold of that apron right there, and that'll get you every time. You know, that apron is not your friend here at Richmond International Raceway. It really isn't.
No apron bad. That's kind of one of the phrases I do a lot when I'm driving. I'll say I'll take a turn, I'll hook the apron a little bit, and yeah, I hook that apron and wants to spin out me, and I say can't help myself. I key up the mic and just like apron bad, and it's
well,
kind of my
again,
way of
we
apologizing.
Got some strategy going on, man. I mean, wow. Let's see, Fuller, Comstock, Rollo, Silver stayed out, Rivera stayed out, and Gonzalez, well, I don't think he's going to pit in and get his damage fixed there, but everybody else pitted, so we're going to let it roll around once again and see who did what here, and we'll see how things go, and then we'll give you guys a rundown of the top 5. We're going to take a small break real quick. We'll leave it on corner to corner, give us up here in the booth a chance to grab some water, give my man Aaron down there in the van a chance to gather his wits about him because there's so much action going on this track. He doesn't know which button to push next. So we'll keep it on corner to corner. We'll be right back, folks. Please stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network's presentation of the Transervice Cup Series Sim500 run here on Monday nights.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Rat poison.
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back to Richmond Raceway. The Sim500 Transervice Cup Series on Monday nights is what we're doing here, folks. We started this race with 39 cars. We still have 36 of them on track, and 32 of those guys are still on the lead lap. And wow, Gael, it's been interesting so far.
Yeah, say just took the green right there. Say Fuller's got the lead over Comstock. Got another good restart there. They're looking pretty tight here between. Oh my goodness. They just can't help themselves.
No, they can't. Look at 3 wide back there. Can't help themselves. I love the way he said that.
I was saying, it looks like the top 9, no, sorry, top 7, I believe, stayed out. And say Adam Gillen's took 2 tires on that stop, but he's making the most of them right now. He's trying to make that top side work, get around Jose Gonzalez.
Yeah, Jose stayed out on tires, I guess, not figuring he needed any. But I'm just really impressed with the guys that are back here duking it out, scrapping and scrapping for positions, man. Like it's the last lap. I don't know if anybody told them it's a 200 lap race, and we're only at lap 96.
Yeah, maybe they got told something we didn't. I'm not sure here, but yeah, they're going after. Like I said, it's 97, not 197, so I'm not sure, but yeah, they're sending it right now.
It's I tell you what, I'm glad I'm not out there. This car is hard enough to handle, even with this new package on short track, because it's so snappy loose on exit. And these guys are just cutting each other no slack at all. Now, in the meantime, back up front, we've talked about him a few times tonight, is Mitch Rollo having a great run tonight. He's in 3rd right now, but he's got his eyes set. I'm sorry, he was in 4th. He's got his eyes set on 3rd. Oh, no, he wasn't 3rd. Man, I'm screwing this up. I'm sorry. Gilliland is making a run up to the field now. He's up to 3rd, puts Mitch back to 4th, but Mitch is having a great run right now. DeBarro's all over his back bumper. Is Mitch one of the guys that stayed out? Yes, he is.
Yes,
he is one of the guys that stayed out.
So it's about 15 lap difference in tires right here. So you've got Adam Gillen with the 2.
Gilliland is so loose right there, but he saved it, and we got a slow car down on the apron. I don't know if he's going to make it all the way back around.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. We might get a yellow from that. I'm not sure. Nothing yet. But man, yeah, so he looks like 2 tires to loosen it up there, though, for sure. Yeah, Mitch has got to be careful because he got two cars with new tires behind him that are both trying to force their way forward. So I think DeBarro's got 4, whereas Gillen took 2, if I recall correctly.
And look at this. Gilliland is putting all kinds of pressure on the 96 car, trying to get by him right now. And I'm with you. I think if Mitch is smart, he's going to let these two go. I mean, he's got the better tires right now. Just let those guys go. If this thing stays green long enough, he will pass them back up. No problem at all.
Yeah, so I think that was what he was able to do, is get him single file. Oh, DeBarro gets really close to the 42 of David Comstock in ring 1 there. Yeah, they're trying to make the most of their tires right now as they can, just in case of another yellow, because he is right on his back bumper. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow! And I mean, I tell you what, Fuller up front is loving this. He's gaining a 10th every lap on these guys while they're back here duking it out 2 by 2 behind him.
Yeah, so I think DeBarro gets a little loose off too, saying that he's have to try to kind of come back again after this one. Yeah, so even with the first tires, it is still really hard to pass.
This is not normally DeBarro's MO. He is not this aggressive, but he is all over Comstock right now. Comstock doesn't know which way to go to block. Oh, he gives him the bumper right there. Oh, wow. And look, Comstock goes back up and gets back into it. That's going to jam up the whole field behind him. 3 and 4 wide going through 3 and 4.
Chad Colony,
I mean, oh, wow. What a save right there.
Just missed the tire barriers entering the pits. Oh, my goodness.
I am really impressed with the 82 being able to save that. Watch this save right here, folks. But what I'm even more impressed with right now is the fact that Comstock is still driving his race car. That could have been all over for him. He got a little bit of help there from DeBarro in the 27 car. Got him loose, and I don't know if he was still trying to save it or if he was just trying to let DeBarro know he didn't appreciate it, but he came back up and got into DeBarro, and that just bottled everybody up right there. And 82 was able to not wreck his car and keeps on going, and we stay green. In the meantime, Fuller said, hey, you guys just keep that up. I don't mind at all. He's out to a 1.5, make that 1.6 this time by a second lead over the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's like Sean Casto's up to 4th position after making that pit stop, I'll say. So I think his staying out worked really well. And of course, getting around some of that craziness there as well. So that's a good recovery for him. But yeah, that was some crazy few laps there. DeBarro's got a little bit of left front damage now from that contact. But yeah, I don't even know what to say. I gotta catch my breath here.
Well, in the meantime, up front, our leader has passed a slower lap car. That lap car being Nigel Standish in the 09. Now, Standish was involved in a couple incidents earlier, so he's got some damage. He's a little bit off pace. Now, he's going to make life interesting for everybody behind him, too, because we still have guys like Gilliland and DeBarro just duking it out back here. I'm sorry, not it's Casto and DeBarro duking it out for a spot as Gilliland comes up on the 09 right now. He's going to try and make his way by him. DeBarro is just all over this track, Gael. He's tried the inside. He's trying the outside right now. He's just looking for any way to make sure he gets up close to the front for this next caution.
Yeah, he may have used up a little bit of his tires. I mean, he still did take the 4 versus the 2, but I think all that contact probably used the stuff up a little bit, and I think that's where Sean Castle is trying to take advantage of it right now. Oh, you got the 09 right in front of them. That really stacked things up there.
Oh, well, here's the reason the 09 so far behind right now is that he and the 9 of Bobby Wetzel got together. Bobby Wetzel got the outside wall hard coming off of 3 and 4 a couple of laps ago and got the 09, spun them both. Wetzel has pulled his car behind the wall, and he is now out of the race, but that's why he's so far behind the rest of the field right now, as he went for a little spin down to the infield.
Oh, they're splitting the 09. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
I was going to comment, I don't think they're going to like the 09 running the bottom line this whole time there. I think they'd like him to move out of the way up top, but they decided to make the move for him.
Yeah, I believe the way they look at it is just hold your line, we'll go around you. I'm not real sure, how they run in the Cup Series, but I've heard them say that in other series. Just hold your line, we'll go around you. But in the meantime, oh, look at that. Casto gives a little bumper to DeBarro. DeBarro dirt tracks it through 1 and 2. I'm sorry, through 1 and 2 right there. He's going to lose a few spots, and again, that's going to bottleneck the rest of the field behind him. So there's no giving at all out here except for bumpers. Bumpers are being given in a hurry out here.
Yeah, they're definitely doing the bump and run here. Yeah, just got a little bit of a nudge there from the 52. Said, hey, I'm faster than you, and I'm going to work around and say, I don't know if, I know DeBarro won't be happy about that, but at the same time, he kind of did the same thing to Dave Comstock, so I'm sure, it won't be too many feelings hurt on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say,
some drivers in.
He didn't have a whole lot of room to gripe, you know what I'm saying? In the meantime, up front, Gilliland has chopped that lead down but just a tick under a half, well, tick over a half second from Fuller. And I'll tell you what, he's making his 2 tires work. He really is.
Yeah, I'll say right now it looks like Fuller and Casto, I'm taking a look at lap times right now. Yeah, Fuller and Casto are the two faster cars right now. They're about a tenth or two faster than Justin Fuller. So you've got Gilliland on the 2 tires, and then you've got Casto on the 4 tires. So it'll be pretty interesting to see if Casto can also chase these guys back down.
Well, Casto that time by turned the fastest lap of a 20.951. And then now we got Trey Edson turns some pretty fast laps. But yeah, Casto's the one turns some fast laps right now, so we'll keep our eyes on him. In the meantime, up front, some battle-damaged cars fighting for the lead. Gilliland has caught Fuller. Now he's just trying to figure out how to get around him.
Yes, and this is where sometimes there's the downside of the teammates, because you probably shouldn't lay a bumper to him if he's holding you up. So right on board here with the 81 about. Oh,
and
yellow
we got
comes
a
out
caution
just as he's about to make a move. I believe it may have involved the 88. I'm not sure.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Let's see
Yep,
here.
he got a little bit of help from Kevin DeBrown right there in turns 3 and 4. And he almost had it saved, then overcorrected a little bit and swung it down low and wound up getting down the infield there, which puts us under yet another caution. Now, question being, who's going to come down pit road and who's staying out? Let's find out right here.
I'm voting everybody's going to be taking tires here. The question is going to be 2 or 4, I think.
It's gonna be interesting to see. We just saw 2 tires work really good for Gilliland. He is all the way up to 2nd spot, really putting on a clinic, as you said earlier. So we're gonna wait and see. But you're right. Everybody, it looks like, is coming down pit road, and wow, like feeding time at the zoo right here.
Yeah, so I think Fuller and Gillen, probably their hands are tied. I think they have to take 4 no matter what. The ones that took 4 in the last caution, they might have some options if they want to do 2 or not. So I'll be curious to see how they do it there.
Well, they're in their pits now, taking their tires. Let's see who wins that race off of pit road. We should get somebody coming out here shortly. It looks like it's going to be... I feel like I'm calling bingo or something. The 81, Gilliland, wins the race off of pit road. Mitch Raw looks like got off a 3rd right there. We'll see how he lines up on track, but it looks like Mitch Raw had a great pit stop right there. So it's going to be Gilliland, Fuller, Rollo, Casto is what it looks like. We'll let it trickle around, folks, and see if we can get an update on that real quick. But that's a great shot right there of that pit road camera.
Yeah, I'm looking at their pit stop times right now, and yeah, Fuller's team is about a second slower, unfortunately, than Gillen. There's a 13.5 second pit stop to a 14.5, and then you have Mitch Rollo with the 13.7 pit stop. So, and Daniel Falkingham actually 13.5 second pit stop as well. So he's actually back up to 8th after getting looped earlier in that run. So, can't count him out yet.
Absolutely. Well, we've got that 96 car driver on the horn here. Mitch Rollo, John up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Well, you had a fantastic pit stop there, my man.
Yeah, it was good. Got up to 3rd here. Ran top 5 most of that last run after those guys went by us with the new tires. So, yeah, I'm really confident in this number 96 Sim Speed Shop Ford Fusion. It's been really quick tonight, and I don't know if we have anything for Gilliland. He's pretty fast, but I think we got Fuller on the long run. Just going to be a matter of getting that long run that we need.
Well, it's been close, but no cigar in the long run tonight, man. But we're looking forward to watching you get her done. Do you think you have anything at all for Gilliland, or are you just going to try and settle in for 2nd spot if it comes down to that?
Well, biggest thing here for us tonight is we just want to come away with a good points night. But obviously, we're going to be going for that win too. So we'll see what we can do with this 96 car, and hopefully we have something for them. But only time will tell. We'll see if we end up in victory lane here.
All right, buddy. Well, I believe your pace car's lights are about to go out here shortly, so we'll let you get back down to it and get ready for it. Good luck for the rest of the race there, Mitch.
Thanks, John.
And that was Mitch Rollo, driver of the 96 Sim
Speed Shop Ford Fusion.
Producer Aaron. Sim Speed Shop Ford Fusion. My brain just stopped. It just right in mid-sentence decided I didn't want to say nothing else right now. But well, here we go. Lights are off on the pace car, Gael. We're at lap 123. Come around to 124 and we'll take the green. about 75, 76 laps left. What do you think we're going to see?
I think we'll see. I think there'll be at least one more set of pit stops if we get a yellow for these guys. But I think with about 50 to go, I think they're going to say that that's what we've got for it. We need to worry about the track position.
Well, we're going to find out here shortly as the pace car's coming through 3 and 4 now with the field behind him. He ducks down. Gilliland on the outside, Fuller on the inside. Green flag is out, and here we go. It's a drag race down to 1 and 2 between Gilliland. And look at that, Edson pushing the 52 down to 1 and 2 like he's bump drafted at Talladega. Mitch Rose squeaks by it on the inside down there, keeps himself in 3rd place. So our top 3 are single file, but behind them, Tommy Ryan challenging for the 4th spot.
Yeah, see, Mitch definitely dove it in there into 1 and 2, make sure he could clear that spot. Because I say, if you get pinned down on the bottom, that's really hard to pass. And so I think that was his goal, is to just get through, get single file, and then kind of set his sights there and Fuller, while the 2 behind him stay side by side.
And look at that, he's challenging for 2nd now, Mitrello is. He's got his sights set on maybe taking that spot away. We heard him under caution what his plans were. He wants to try and get by Fuller as quick as he can with these tires he's got, and then maybe settle in for the big picture and ride along. But behind him, we've got one hell of a fight going on for 4th place. Tommy Ryan down there on the inside of the 99s. Sean Castro on the outside in that Jack Daniels car on the outside there. They're just duking it out left and right, trying to take this 4th spot from each other. Behind them, we've got Falkingham. Trey Edson now poking his nose in on this fight. We got a 4-car fight, for 4th place.
Yeah, saying a couple of those are the Dash for Cash cars as well. So say they're kind of, like I said, in their own little fight there.
Absolutely. And just to top that off, just to recap that real quick, the English Auto Dash for Cash payout. Right now, I believe Fuller is at the head of that little list. So he is going to take the $60 if we finish in this order. 2nd place gets 40, 3rd gets 30, and 4th gets 20th. So we're going to let the laps wind down, and once this race is finished, we'll give you an update on that, on who wins the big money there for the English Auto Dash for Cash. In the meantime, up front, it is still Adam Gilliland. He has had a rough night. Gael been way up high in lead and way down low in the mid-20s there for a while, but he's worked his way back up to the front.
Yeah, so he's shown some battle scars on the right side of that car. Like I said, he got some contact when he had that pit strategy earlier that didn't really work out for him. But I say methodically worked his way back up, used some of his own pit strategy to get back up to the front, and of course just outright speed as well. But he's definitely not gapping Fuller like we've seen him do earlier in the run. So he might be saving his stuff a little bit, or I think Fuller may have just found something a little bit too, is picking up some speed.
Well, we are now on what we call the back 9, I guess. Less than 75 laps to go. That was 131 right there at the line. They're working 131 right now. So we've got about 68 laps left to go. And folks, that's lots of time for lots of action to happen here. We haven't had a really long green flag run yet, Gael. I'm hoping it goes green for the rest of the way, because once these tires get wore out, that's when you see what true driving looks like down here on Richmond Raceway.
Yeah, saying you're already seeing it even just right now, maybe 10 laps on the tires. I saw Adam Gilliland get a little loose off of 4 there. He's able to gather it really nicely, but I say his tires are already starting to kind of get mad at the drivers and say, hey, I don't like that lead foot you got under me.
No doubt. I mean, you really got to treat this car gentle. Is that a word? Gently is what I was trying to say. Because this setup is just so snug, and that's going to wear that right front down the harder you drive it quicker. So, you really got to be kind of a baby with that throttle, like you said earlier. Treat it like you got an egg underneath it and not get on it too hard, and not drive the car in too hard on these turns either.
Yeah, so that's the trick, is just finding, kind of like you said, almost like Bristol with it being a rhythm track. It's really the same thing here, but it's so hard to get that rhythm when you've got these cars just hounding down on you. You still see Fuller and Mitch Rollo. Mitch is trying to find any way that he can kind of get an edge on Fuller. The problem is now he's having to also watch the back with the 52, Sean Castro, because Castro's going to try to see if he can take advantage of that if he goes up too high and misses his line.
And we know Castro is not ashamed to use his bumper either, as we saw earlier between he and DeBarro. And speaking of DeBarro, I don't know what happened to him, but he's gone from running up there in the top 3. Now he's all the way back to 29th, fighting to stay on the lead lap. Not real sure what happened there, but he was one of our front runners for the longest time. Now finds himself way back there in the back with all that traffic, and that is not some place you want to be. Now, we talked about that English Auto Dash for Cash earlier. Chad Cole was a member of that for the longest time. I mean, still qualifies for it, but right now he finds himself in 26th spot, way back there in the back. So he's got to pick it up if he wants to get the cash tonight, there, Guy.
Yeah, so I think his night kind of went wayside when he about hit the pit entry barriers or the tire barriers there, avoiding that, or not avoiding the wreck, but kind of getting caught up in the aftermath of the wreck. But I see Mitch Roller here is really sending him down into 1 and 2, trying to put some pressure on Fuller, but just couldn't quite get it.
And you got to wonder, I mean, I know Mitch personally. He's a really good friend of mine. He's also a producer here at RSRN. How aggressive do you think he's going to get with Fuller? How bad do you think he wants to try to get that second spot away from him?
Yes, I mean, well, we've seen already 2 drivers use the bumper to kind of move him up and out of the way, but the problem is then that opens you up to kind of having the same thing happen to you. So I think the way he was talking about having the long run pace on Fuller, I think he's going to try to still just work him over and get under him, or even try to get the top side working possibly. But I think, yeah, once it comes down to within, I'd say maybe 30, 40 to go, you might see a little bit of some extra love coming from him.
Extra love. Well, right now they're on the back stretch working lap 140. Come by this time, tape lap 41. That'll be 60 laps to go. And now's the time to make your moves, really. I mean, we're getting down to the end of it now. And as you see, everybody's single file on track right now. And pretty much everybody is on the same lap tires. We've been out on green now for about 21 laps. They got 22 laps on these tires. So we've been on green now for about 20, 21 laps. And now's the time to go. The tires ain't getting no fresher, but the guys are getting away from you.
Yeah, I must say, though, Fuller's doing a really good job of keeping up with Adam Gillen. He's only got about half a second lead, whereas earlier in the race we saw he was able to sneak out to about a 1.5, 2 second lead. So I said they're doing a pretty good job keeping him reined in a little bit as well. So obviously there's still a long ways to go as Fuller just touches the apron there in 3 and 4, but he's all right. But yeah, he's got to be careful doing that.
You got to ask yourself, is Fuller keeping up with Gilliland, or is Gilliland taking it easy and just kind of riding?
You know, it's a really good point. I mean, he could just be trying to save his stuff in case of, like, let's say maybe Mitch Roller gets around him and then, caution came out.
Oh, there we go. That's going to definitely change the picture. Let's see what we got here for a caution.
Looks like our man Ben and Chad Cole, I believe, 0-0 and the 82.
Oh my, to be a fly on the wall in their team speed channel right now.
Oh, no, actually, I say it is
0-0. It's Kevin DeBrown.
Kevin DeBrown, Oops. Yeah. That's going to be another fly on the team speak channel.
Wall in their team speak right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's not what you want to see right there, but you're right. It looks like Ben checked up maybe a little earlier than Kevin expected him to and got a bumper, and he wound up spinning down and getting into another teammate down there on the inside. That would be the 82 of Chad Cole, and the 3 car got involved in that. And I tell you what, man, I don't know if I don't want to know if I beat Kevin DeBrown right now. If I want to beat Kevin DeBrown right now.
Say we got pit stops going on right now. Say it was about a 20-25 lap run, and say we'll see again. It looks like everybody's coming down. I'll say it'll be see if anybody does the 2-tire strategy. But I think we're still over 50 to go, so I think 4 might still be the way to go for everybody.
I'd take 4. That's just me though. But again, I'm not a pro at this. You got some guys out here that are really, really good at this. We're gonna see what happens here. We'll keep an eye on who does what as far as tires. And look at this. Wow, is that Boris Cook in the 63 car? I bet he took 2.
Yeah, I believe that was Brian Boris Cook. Yeah, I'm trying to take a look here at the pit times. Oh, yeah, definitely took 2 tires on the 63 there.
Well, good for him. He's looking to mix it up a little bit and see if maybe he can't get himself a top 10. He's looking for a change of luck, Gael. Boris has been running this series for a while, and just every time he starts to have a decent run, he gets caught up in somebody else's mess and just has a rough night. But he finds himself currently residing in 4th. He's going to see if he can make those 2 tires work for him. Right now, we're on track. We're taking the cars through 1 and 2 on lap 146. So that'll be about, I don't know, 55 laps to go, I believe, when we come by this time.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So I'd probably restart with just over 50 to go. So I'm really liking that paint scheme, though. A really nice throwback of the old interstate battery scheme.
You might want to hit Control R because he's driving the Martin Truex scheme now.
Well, then I might be on an old paint scheme. My apologies.
Yeah, he's running he's got actually a Martin Truex paint job going on now. Unless somebody's trading paints is disagreeing with him. I mean, that's always a chance as well. But In the meantime, let's give everybody a rundown while they're still running around the track here. Mitch Rollo, Adam Gilliland is up front in first. Fuller rides second. That's Justin Fuller in 51. Mitch Rollo, 96 cars in third. We already talked about Boris Cook coming out there in fourth. Sean Casto in fifth. Falkingham sixth. Trey Edson seventh. Tommy Ryan eighth. Nick Silver ninth. And Dwayne Vincent from 21st up to 10th. But as far as climbers go, you got to give it to Boris Cook in that 63 car. 31st start spot is where he started at. Finds himself up to fourth with a little bit of tire strategy that might just work out for him, Gael. We've seen it work. We've seen some guys make two tires work for him with less laps on than he's got. Or more, I should say. More, excuse me.
Yeah, no, I think it's worth the try. Like I said, we're going to be about that last quarter of the race. So business is going to start picking up. So unfortunately, that's also where the aggression picks up a little bit too. So those short runs, he actually should be pretty good. Obviously it's a bit of a... Actually, two tires would be good, I think, because if it is tight in the center and entry in the center, the two tires should loosen it up a little bit. So, yeah, that might help him rotate a little bit better.
We're going to find out. The lights are off of the pace car. They are stacked up 2 by 2. Gilliland takes the outside line again for his lane choice, which has worked for him so far. Fuller down on his inside. Boris Cook up there on the outside, row 2. Down on the inside, Mitch Rollo, our very own SRM producer, Mitch Rollo, down on the inside in row 2. And here we go. Pace car is off. Green flag flies. Gilliland gets a nice start right there. Cook, though, it looks like he spun his tires just a smidge and kind of got up a little bit high right there. That's going to give Mitch Rollo third spot, and Falkingham's going to duck down the inside. Look at how hard Boris Cook in that 3 drove that car down to 1 and 2. Oh, wow, Castro gets a little bit of bumper from 40 of Trey Edson. Doesn't back off. Edson just keeps in the throttle, keeps it going. In the meantime, Boris Cook's back to 5th, Falkingham up to 4th, and Edson and Castro are really giving each other a hard time back there for 5th. 6th, excuse me.
Yeah, Boris is able to fall in at least now, see if he can kind of... Oh, they're wrecking behind, though.
And there you go.
Some couple look like took a hard hit to the inside wall. It's like the 20 of Tim Johnson was one.
Oh, yeah. That was painful. And it looks like the 22 car, is that?
Yeah,
that is. Nelson Rivera, another one of our auto.
Yeah.
Another English auto dash for cash driver. He didn't get quite as much damage as Timothy Johnson, that 28 did, but I believe that's going to be in the night for Johnson right there. He was running in the top 15 when that happened, but his car is a little scrunched up.
Yeah, the 22 was trying to take a look at the outside of Josh Parker, and they just touched enough. I was saying it kind of looks like it actually made the tires actually may have made contact. The 22 hopped up a little bit in the air, and that just put him straight into the outside wall. And then Tim Johnson just had nowhere to go and took a massive hit there.
Indeed, he did. Well, that slows everybody down there, and that's going to give Boris Cook a chance to cool his tires off as he rides back there in 5th spot with a 2-tire stop earlier that got him way up there. That's great. He's trying to make the best out of a bad start because he started way back there in 31st. But I kind of wonder with 152 laps down, we've still got 47 laps to go, 48 laps to go, something like that. I don't know. Maybe I would have ducked in somebody, back there, maybe 15th on back, ducked in and gotten some more tires.
Yeah, or even just a little bit of damage repair too. You never know if that'll help. I say you're going fast enough, I think, to actually make Aero play a role in this one. So yeah, I'd say if you're a little bit in the back there, get some damage fixed too. But I think a lot of them are just like, all right, it's kind of crunch time at this point. But I'm trying to take a look at the English Auto Dash for Cash car. So it looks like Fuller's still leading him with Daniel Falkingham, Trey Edson, and then Nick Silver are the 4 currently as they run. So those would be the 4 to get some cash courtesy of English Auto.
I wonder if we can convince them to throw a little cash our way. What I really want to do, guys? I want to find somebody to sponsor me to race. Really, plop down enough money for me to buy a real nice rig and a nice wheel, and really make a run for a championship in the series somewhere. That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty fun to see. I've seen some of the guys I know get like you said, get some sponsors that support them, and saying that obviously you've got to make sure that you can do a good job to help their brand and everything. So yeah, it's
I'm
rare,
not going to drop any
names.
names, but I know personally somebody who actually got sponsored by a sim hardware manufacturer that gave him a $4,000 set of pedals and a wheel to sponsor him to race.
Well, we need to see if they need a teammate, I think.
I'm saying, man, I'm like, wow, dude. But he's also an active streamer with tons of followers. He's got a great personality too, but he's a damn good driver. I've watched him in the Peak Series a couple times, but that's just, I mean, to me, that's just crazy. I'm a 49-year-old vet with injuries and crap, trying to find a job and whatnot, and can barely afford to buy a popsicle, much less a $4,000 steering rig. I wouldn't mind one though. How about you down there, Aaron? You got any money I can borrow? Aaron, he's not going to talk to us now. The lights are off on the pace car.
Short and sweet. Yeah, so he's got work to do.
Short and sweet. That's it. Lights are off on our pace car, folks. I want you guys to make sure, if you can, stop by our Facebook page and give Aaron Grosskopf a shout. Let him know you love him. He does a great job giving us these pictures every week on this series, and we're probably going to see him a little bit less when his baseball season kicks off. But good luck to you on that one, Aaron. In the meantime, our lights are off on our pace car, and it's time to go back to racing, Guy. I'm going to take it back to green, buddy.
All right, so yeah, Adam Gillen took the inside this time, so that'll be interesting to see. I said that actually I think is going to be a good chance for Mitch Roller here to try sneak by Justin Fuller, or say we'll see how this one works out. You got Daniel Falkingham up top and fourth, so coming off 4 pace cars in, just waiting for him to go, and he is going.
You know, his teammates, they counted down to each other.
Yeah,
so really, Rolo didn't have a chance in hell.
I don't know.
Oh, we got a big spin down there in the grass. I don't know who that was, but somebody went mowing the yard down there.
I was focused on leaders. I didn't even see it, but I say Mitch had an attempt but couldn't get there. But now Daniel Falkingham's trying to take advantage there, coming off of 3 and 4. Now you got those two side by side for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Falkingham, we've talked about him earlier in the show. He's been strong for the last few weeks. He's had a rough night here, and we got a big caution in 1 and 2, it looks like.
Yeah, so taking a last look to see what happened that last time. It looked like it was EJ went through the grass on that previous lap. Let's take a look, see what happened here, though.
Looks like Solomon's involved in the 88 car, but it looks like it was a little bit ahead of him, actually. The 97 car of Lionel Callisto is who, he got a little bit of help from the 88. You'll see it right here. The 88 just went down that turn a little too hard there, got in that left rear of Callisto, and he got up into the wall, and he took, he took the 5 car with him, and there were more cars involved in front of them, and just a big mess.
Yeah, the 82, Chad Cole took a big hit as well, and unfortunately our 00 Ben Kilcrease as well, so yeah, that did not end well.
I think Ben's going to be really happy when this race is over, just to get out of this track.
Yeah, there's going to be some people that are just like, you know what, I'm calling it.
I'm telling you. Well, folks, that's once again we're under caution, and I'm guessing Gilliland is loving this. I mean, that's gonna bring us back this time by with about 42 laps to go, somewhere in that neighborhood, and he's got to be loving this, Gael.
Yeah, it seems like he's definitely got a really good restart. I'll say we'll see how he works with Fuller again on the restart if they kind of do that countdown game again. You got Daniel Falkham and Mitch Rollo now swap positions with 3rd and 4th, so be curious to see what Adam does here, if he's more worried about Mitch or if he's more worried about Daniel for which lane he takes.
And again, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it matters as long as his teammate starts second. They can count it off. You know, they can count it down and get themselves out ahead of both of them, which, is really good for teammates. What I'm really impressed with is Boris Cook still out there in the top 10 with those 2 tires of his.
And it's what we talked about. It's like, well, it's kind of getting crunch time, and say cautions kind of start happening a little bit extra at this point. And yeah, I say holding on to 7th. Like I said, it started from 31st position. It's a really good gain for him. I say it's worth the strategy.
Well, as we talked about so many times so far, folks, we have the English Auto Dash for Cash also taking place this evening, and right now, Fuller still has the top spot for that payout. However, Falkingham is right there with him. Justin's going to restart second. Falkingham will start third. And you got to wonder if maybe that $60 incentive that's dangling right in front of Falkingham's not going to make him just that much more aggressive on this restart.
That's it's. I mean, it's a nice jump for sure, and I'm saying you've actually got the 4 of them all within the top 6 right now that are the ones that are in with Nick Silver as well as Trey Edson. So, or actually, no, I don't know if Nick's. No, sorry, I'm sorry. I say he's got the green numbers, but it's not related.
Actually, he is. He's 6th in the list.
I just can't read apparently. So yeah, so sorry.
It's okay.
So you got 6 of them, or they got the 4 in the top 6 right now. So and then I'm trying to see who is next on the list. See, unfortunately, most of the other ones I think have had a rough night. I think David Comstock might be the next eligible.
Yeah,
and
he's back there in 12th.
12th. Yeah, so once he got that little bit of a bump there, it's kind of hasn't helped his night.
It really hadn't. Speaking of that bump, though, the guy that gave it to him, that's 27, I'm sorry, Anthony DeBarro, that 27 car, he's worked his way up to, he's going to be restarting 17th, it looks like. So, man, maybe I want to keep an eye on that. See how he bulldogged his way through this field. In the meantime, the lights are off on our pace car, folks, and we're getting ready to go back to green one more time. Hopefully, this will be the last time we go to caution. I really want to see this thing go all the way on this last stretch. So here we go, down the back stretch. Pace car is leading them 2 by 2 by 2. The lights are off on that pace car. Gaio, we're going to go back to green here shortly. Do you think it's going to stay green?
I'm going to give it 15 laps.
Well, here we go, folks. Pace car is, oh my goodness. Pace car is off, and off we go. And oh, look at that. They're already stacked up back there in the back. Big stack up. Not real sure who that was. It was about 10th place somewhere back there. Stacked a lot of cars up, but we stay green. Not real sure what that was all about. Let's see if we can't figure that out real quick. But it looks like maybe, I don't know, Scott Simley or somebody back there. Who was that?
Yeah, I'm thinking someone maybe wasn't lined up correctly, and they're trying not to get black flagged.
Yeah, Scott Simley just ducked up to the high side for whatever reason there. Caused a bunch of people to catch their breath. But in the meantime, we've got a race going on back up front. Gil up, and there's another caution. My goodness.
I just saw who was that. The 22 Nelson Rivera was involved. Not sure if he had any help though.
Let's see. It looks like, yeah, it's Rivera. You're right. And no, he just looped it all by himself, coming off of 2. And we've talked about that in the past. These cars are snappy loose, you know. And I mean, he's only been on track with those tires for a little while, but it got away from him in a hurry right there. 13 laps he got on his tires.
Yeah, saying probably driving a little angry with getting caught up in those earlier wrecks because he had a good run going too, and he's one of the eligible dash for cash. So maybe just trying to make something happen there and say, I think.
Oh, we got
pit
oh
stops.
No, we got mind games going on. Is what we've got. I didn't mean to catch off guard.
No, I saw everybody popping up like they were pitting there. I was like, oh, hold on now.
That was close. I wonder if anybody caught that commitment cone. We're going to find out here shortly. But wow, that was interesting games being played there. But in the meantime, Boris Cook has fallen back to 9th, but right there in 10th spot is Comstock. He gained 2 spots in half a lap. And we were green. So he's making his way back up there. We want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so I'm taking a look at the pit entry. Yeah, it looks like everybody's okay because it actually looks like commitment cone is pretty much at those water barrels. So if somebody missed the commitment cone, it would not end well for their night.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that last night too, man. A lot of it. Guys ducking down in the very last second. I actually put a camera on the cone last night. After the race, I went back and watched the replay, put a camera on the cone, and it was so close that you could actually see the roll cage inside the cars. That's how close they were to the cone.
Yeah, I'll say it's fun to try to fake your competitors out sometimes. I'll say I think a few guys may have pitted, including the 82 Chet Cole. Like I said, I think he's just trying to get some of this damage fixed because he's had a bit of a rough evening.
Yeah, I'm sure there are several guys looking forward to getting this race over with. They got a week off next week, Easter holidays. Everybody will be off. And then I think when they come back, where are they at? Talladega? No. Yeah.
I think it's
Talladega
afterwards. Yeah, so I'll say go from short track bumping and banging to fast track bumping and banging because
that's right.
You got to push to get them going.
I'll tell you what, Talladega. That's another one of these tracks I love this new package on, man. A lot of people complain about it, but man, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of driving this car now on the big tracks, the 2 milers, the 2.5 milers.
Yeah.
This package makes it so much fun.
Yes, the plate racing with this package. I mean, before it was I actually couldn't stand it with the old setup just because you couldn't really do much. But with his new package, though, I mean, yeah, the cars pull up really well to each other, and yeah, you can really get racy with them. I think that one's going to be quite the show.
And I tell you, another one I love driving this new package on is like the 2-milers, Michigan and California. Good Lord, this thing is a blast on California, man.
Yeah, so as long as the drivers exercise a little bit of patience, because that one's it's just so tempting to just keep like
It really
get that
is.
run. You just want to go, and it's like, well, no, just work together. We can do something here, but.
I did a couple of the open races at Auto Club, man, and I just love starting in the back. I would start in the back every single race. I'd qualify, and maybe just miss the start of the race or something like that, or I'd fall to the back on the first lap and just watch the chaos go, and pick them off as they went. We had one race where I went green the whole race, man, and I just laid back, took care of my tires for the whole race, and next thing you know, I went from 33rd to about 7th. I think I finished somewhere in there, something like that. I don't remember, but in the meantime, our pace lights are off one more time, Gael. That time by it was lap 169. We'll go back to green, lap 170, which gives us 31 laps under green, hopefully, if we can stay green this time. And we're going to go ahead and do another little treat for the fans out there. Folks, put your ears right next to your monitor, your TV, or whatever you're watching this on, because when we go green this time, we're going to do a turn it up again and get it really good and loud. So here we go, man. Pace car is off, Gael. We're going to do a couple laps under green, turn it up. Here we go. Green flag's about to start waving, and it's off. And there you have it, race fans. Turn it up. If that don't get your blood boiling, you might want to go see a doctor. That's to me, that's one of the best parts of racing. Even in real life when they do that, great camera shots. But it looks like our top 8 or 9 there, Gael, have kind of single filed out right now. I wanted to see how this thing plays out. Maybe hoping for one more quick caution. But I tell you what, Boris Cook's putting up one hell of a fight back there for his spot against Dave Comstock.
Yeah, so he's doing all he can with those 2 tires, and saying Trey Edson got a good start, got around Daniel Falkingham, and yeah, saying then you've got Fuller right on the back of Gillen still, and of course you've got Mitchell right on the back of him. So you've got, like I said, the top 5 or 6 just right now are just right on top of each other. Oh, Fuller gets a little loose, so it looks like Mitch is going to try the top side here, see if he can. Oh, he's going to hang on to that side. Oh, not quite. Very close.
Yep, Mitch is sticking with his plans, though. He really wants to get by Fuller as quick as he can and try and get his, maximize his points race tonight. In the meantime, all over his bumper right now is Trey Edson. He's one of our English Auto Dash for Cash drivers. He's trying to get up there, maybe make a bid not only for the win, but for that cash as well. So Rollo's got his hands full, both trying to pass the 51 car and keep the 40 car off of his back.
Yeah, so this is where you want that couple tenths of somebody behind you, so you can kind of focus on them and not to protect. Because I'm sure right now Mitch would really love to take a high arc and try to get under Fuller on exit, but he can't, because if he does that, Trey's just going to fill that gap immediately.
Absolutely correct. And then, I noticed that myself today when I was running some practice laps in an actual official practice server with other cars. We did a couple of pit parties, and I mean, it's all about the timing and how old your tires are. There's so many variables that come into that, but to pass somebody outside, it's just damn near impossible. But everything has to kind of like line up like the freaking stars and the moons and whatnot to make a pass like that. So I think Mitch is going to be wise right here and just kind of lay back and take it easy for a minute. Let his tires, try and last just a little bit. We're under lap 178 right now. Not that many laps left, about 23 laps left, excuse me. So he might just be kind of biding his time here and let these tires cool off a little bit, and then maybe we're going to have a charge at the 51 car in Fuller.
Yeah, it looks like they're all pretty much evenly spaced out here, about that like 2 or 3 tenths between them. But man, wow, Mitch is wiggly there off of Forrest. So he's still trying to get that power down as hard as he can, but those rears are screaming.
Absolutely, and getting loose ain't good either, because that helps wear those tires down just that much faster. So he's got to be real careful with that as he takes kind of a middle line that time, coming through 3 and 4. middle of the high line, trying to get as much of momentum built up as he can going down in 1 and 2. In the meantime, just in front of him, Fuller is starting to put a little bit more heat on the 81 of Gilliland.
Yeah, so Adam hasn't been able to sneak away, and I don't think at this point, I don't think he's trying to save his stuff or anything like that. I think he's having to work as hard as he can. Maybe some of that damage is affecting him, but yeah, Fuller's right there too. So if any of these top 3 or so make a mistake, it's definitely going to change the outcome of it. Whoa! Mitch Roller took that hard arc, and I say that really opened the door. I think Trey was really thinking about it, but just didn't quite have it.
Yeah, Mitch can't afford to do that too many times, or Edson's going to stick his nose down in there. But we're single file now, less than 20 laps to go, folks. This is it, crunch time. As Gaio would say, there's not any time left. You've got to start making moves now if you can make them at all. And I tell you what, I'm really impressed with Boris Cook back there in 10th place still. I know we've talked about him a couple times, but you got to admit, there's a 2-tire stop, and he's been out for a while now on those 2 tires. How long has he been out? I can't even tell now. 38. Oh, no, he came in and took some tires, did he? My fault. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm watching Mitch and Fuller. Mitch had a really good run on 2 and got below. He's
got it this time.
Now. I'll say last time by, Fuller just shut the door on him, and I was afraid they were going to make contact. But I said the trouble now is getting the exit. I say just got to get that power done. You really need the whole track to do it.
And he just didn't have it. I mean, right there you saw Fuller took the outside there and kind of pinned him down coming off of 4, which just made, and he gets into the wall just a little bit. Now he's going to try and get on the outside. Nope, he's going to arc it back down through 3. I'm telling you, I'm not saying that Mitch needs to wreck somebody, but I think the only way he's going to make that spot is just a little bit of a bumper, a little bump and run.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be very happy about that because it looked like he had a nice little run on the outside, but then Fuller kind of squeezed up that little bit and just kind of took his line away there. So I'd say that those little things definitely keep in a driver's mind. So yeah, you could definitely see a little bit of assistance here.
In the meantime, behind him, Edson is all over his back bumper. He wants to take that 3rd spot away from him. And I don't know how happy Mitch Roll will be if he gets a bumper. I tell you, we call him the crazy Canadian, and there's a reason we do that. So we'll see how this fight winds down. We are less than 15 laps to go, folks, this time by. And as they come through 3 and 4, taking the stripe for 187. And that leaves us 14 laps to go. And I tell you what, it's anybody's game really right now. Gilliland's got a little bit of a lead, but I mean, technically speaking, he could slip up any time now because his tires are just as old as everybody that's behind him.
Yeah, so he's got, like you said, about half a second gap. But man, yeah, from 2nd on back to about 6th, I would say 6th, 7th place. I mean, they are all right on top of each other. So, I'm just kind of waiting, just almost biting my nails, waiting for something to happen here because it just feels like it's like that, where it's like the boil's going to kind of go over the top.
Yes. Well, as for our English auto dash, look at this on the outside. Edson noses up on the outside of the 96 of Mitch Rowe. Is going to try and make that pass. In the meantime, Rollo goes down hard into 1-2, gets into the side of Fuller, finally turns him for that spot. That's going to put us on a caution. Oh my goodness gracious! Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of a matter of time. I felt like that was going to be happening. And to say, unfortunate for Fuller, but I think with Edson getting to the top of Mitch Rollo, Mitch just tried to send it as deep as he could, and unfortunately, I just didn't quite go to plan. I'll say we'll take a look here on this replay, though.
Well, you can see that Rollo saw the 51 coming down and got hard on the binders and got loose and had to chase the car up the track, and that's really how he got into the 51 right there. He was sideways, just trying to save his car. Wasn't intentional at all. Tommy Ryan got a little piece of that action as well, but that's going to put us under caution. And it's 10 laps to go when we come by this time. When we take the line this time by, it'll be 10 laps to go, which means we'll probably go green with 5 laps to go. I think it's a given that everybody's going to stay out, but man, that shakes up our top 5 big time. That takes Fuller completely out of the picture for any kind of money, I believe.
Yeah, he might still have a chance, like I said, because we have a lot of cars that are damaged. I'll have to go through the running order and take a look. But yeah, I'd say that actually puts Trey up into the catbird seat there with the $40. And you got Fockingham in 4th place, and then Nick Silver in 6th, and Comstock in 8th. So actually, I think you may be right there.
So O'Rourke pitted, Nigel Standish pitted, Justin Fuller pitted, and Wortman pitted. Everybody else stayed out. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. There's only 27 cars on the lead lap. I say only. We started with 39 cars tonight. There's 27 cars still on the lead lap. But I imagine right now Fuller's just trying to catch his breath, maybe get a little damage fixed and see how we can get out here and salvage some sort of a night. But as far as our English Auto Dash for Cash payout goes, You said it, man. Right now, it looks like Trey Edson's in the catbird seat to take that $60. Once we go back to green, he'll have to finish where he's at. But Daniel Falkham's right there in fourth. He's also a runner-up. Nick Silver's right there. He's starting. Well, he's in sixth, I should say, right now. Let's see who else we got here. Comstock's also vying for a spot there. So it's not over till it's over. You know, the fat lady ain't saying yet, as people like to say. So we'll see how this works out for him. But man, that was some action up front, and we were looking for it. You know, it was going to happen.
Yeah, no, it felt like it was just a matter of time. I'll say they were just all. I think they're all pretty much just running qualifying laps. It felt like right there. So it'll be interesting to see what line Adam Gillen takes, because if he does stay on the bottom here, you'll have the top four Dash for Cash all lined up on the top row, second, fourth, sixth, and eighth.
Yes, sir. And I'm so tongue-tied right now, folks. I apologize. The English Auto Dash for Cash payout. We'll go over that one more time for you. First place gets $60. That's the person who finishes highest in this 8-driver list we have. Second gets $40. Third gets $30, and fourth gets $20. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that little bit of incentive kind of makes Edson and Falkingham race each other here.
Yeah, so I'm trying to look to see if there's any chance. I mean, obviously, something will probably have to happen, because you've got Chad Cole, Nelson Rivera, and then Justin Fuller would be the other three, and of course with Mike Kelly with his damage early in the race. Let's say he's 14 laps down, so unfortunately he will not be able to get anything on this run. But you never know. I say if any of those guys get caught up in something here, because I mean, again, yeah, there's that, but then there's also the trophy, and that's going to be. There's going to be a lot of drivers who don't care about that Dash for Cash stuff. They just want to win this race.
Absolutely. Guys like Adam Gilliland, he's been strong all night, qualified on the pole, ran top 10 actually led the race for a lot. Had some pit strategy, rise up and bite him in the butt, but he's back up to the front now. In the lead, has been for quite some time. 50-lap old tires, though, and we're taking the one to go right here. The lights are off for the pace car, Gael. We're going to go back to green on lap 195 with 6 laps to go. And I tell you what, at this point, it is literally anybody's race to win.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I mean, the restart's going to be huge, and like you said, with these 50 laps on the tires, I mean, they'll have to be really careful not to get some tire spin here. I think Adam Gilliland, again, being able to control start, he's going to be in a really good place here. But yeah, it's.
And there goes our pace car. We'll be going back to green here now. They're slow and slow and slow. And there goes the green flag, and off goes Gilliland. Gets a great start. Edson on his outside, though, hugging that right rear quarter. He's going to slam the door. I'm going down into 1 and 2. In the meantime, down low is Mitch Rollo in third spot, trying to get back by Trey Edson. He was up there in front of Edson before that last caution. Edson snuck by on the outside before the caution flew. So here we go down into turn 3 and 4. This time by will be 5 to go, 5 laps to go. Look at Falkham way up high that time. He's back there.
Got trouble in the back, it looks like.
Oh, we got a wreck, and that might just do it. We're going to have to see how quick they get this cleaned up. We got another wreck.
Yeah, taking a look here, see, it looks like they may have been an attempt of a 3 wide entering 3 here with the 5, the 83, I believe that is.
It looks like the 83 got down on the apron right there, got up into the 5, and it was just on from there. All kind of cars piled into this thing. Chad Cole again, man, poor Chad. I'm sure he's ready to get out of this race also. But as you can see right there, like I said, the guy got down on the apron there, and we said before, the apron's not your friend here. Shot him straight up in the outside, got him a little loose, and that was pretty much over with for him. In the meantime, back up front, Gilliland is probably going to win this one, because as we come by, next time by will be lap 198 with 3 to go. And I don't think we'll get this thing go back to green. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping to see this thing finish on the green.
Yes, and as saying here, it was a really good run, that one before, where they were all stacked up on each other. It was pretty intense there, but yeah, so just unfortunate kind of aggression picks up there at the end of these races, and that's just, yeah, unfortunate kind of how it goes sometimes. But yeah, like you said, it looks like Adam Gilliland will get the win here, with Trey Edson being able to sneak around Mitch Rollo. I say Mitch run 3rd, Tommy Ryan 4th, and Daniel Falkingham will round out the top 5.
So we're just going to take a real small break, folks. We'll be right back. We're going to leave it on corner to corner. When we get back, we'll see where this race is going to end up at, see what kind of a finishing order we'll have. And actually, yeah, we'll give you a top 10 before we get our interviews done. So please stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network. We'll be right back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back to the Sim500's presentation. I'm sorry, the Racing Network's presentation of the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series on Monday nights. We're going to finish this one on the caution here at Richmond. 200 laps right there, and Gilliland's going to take the win there, Gael.
Yeah, so he was stat all night. So he had to go through some pit strategy, kind of recover from that. But like I said, he used his own pit strategy and then just outright speed to get the win here.
Well, we're going to try to get some interviews with our top 3 here and give you updated points thing. But real quick, let's go over that English Auto Dash for Cash. It looks like the way this finished, Trey Edson's going to get that $60. Balkingham will come home with 40. Silver's going to get himself 30, and Comstock, believe it or not, is going to wind up with the 20.
Yeah, so every time I just needed something possibly in front of him to happen. I say, unfortunately, it did. For Justin Fuller, I'm sure he won't be too happy about that, but everybody's going for all they could at the end there. And yeah, so it's pretty exciting ending to the race there.
There's a lot of chaos on track right now. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of action on little altercations after the race. Some post-race altercations, if you will. I'm not really sure what all that was about, but whoo, man, that's Richmond for you. There's some folks very angry out there right now.
Yeah, probably just some pent-up aggression after that race.
Wow. Anyway, so our winner, Adam Gilliland's going to burn him down. Look at these donuts he's doing, man. That's awesome. Well, we're going to take another commercial break real quick, folks. When we come back, we'll give you a top 10, some top 3 interviews, and we'll wrap this show up here at the Sim Racing Network. We'll keep it on corner to corner so you can watch these awesome burnouts that Gilliland's doing. I'm laughing at him. He's just burning that car down. But we'll be right back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
And welcome back to the Sim Racing Network's presentation of the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series here on Monday nights. We just wrapped it up here at Richmond Raceway, and if I'm not mistaken, our own Gael Brooks, you go down there with Mitch Rollo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I've caught up with our own Mitch Rollo there in the 96 Sim Speed Shop Ford Fusion. I'll say it looked like it was a pretty crazy couple of last restarts there, especially towards the end. Just looked like everybody from first to sixth are just stacked up on each other there.
Yeah, it was a rough ending to the race. First and foremost, I just want to say, what happened with me and Fuller, that obviously wasn't intentional on my part. Just trying a little hard to protect that top three and drove it in there a little too hard and got loose. And unfortunately, I had to chase out the track a little bit and got into him. So not happy with myself about that. But two podiums in a row for the Sim Speed Shop Ford Fusion. Really good night for us. Speed wise, we were in the top five most of the night, except for when we got off balance on our pit strategy with everyone else. So overall, I'm happy. It's about time we got our season turned around. Just hate what happened there at the end of the race with Fuller.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like it was going to happen one way or another because like it seemed like all of you were kind of just like right on each other's bumper. Like you were right on him, you had Trey right on you. I think he had Tommy Ryan or Daniel Falkham right on him. So it seemed like eventually one of those dominoes was going to fall. And say just kind of short track racing. Is what it seemed like to me at least. So hopefully not too much frustration on his end. To say no grudges held, but we'll see how that goes. I'll say good run for you though. Of course, third place. Let's say any shout outs while you have the moment though.
Yeah, again, Sim Speed Shop for all your. If you want a button box or they got some other cool gadgets there, go over to simspeedshop.com and they definitely have some really awesome products over there. Everyone at Crossover Incorporated, the teammates, Chad, Ben, Kevin, Spotter Jared did a really nice job up on the stand tonight. Everyone at Sim500, all the admins, everyone that makes this thing happen. Transervice Logistics for coming on board once again for the series sponsor. Definitely would not be possible without them on board here. And you guys at the Sim Racing Network, you guys did an awesome job. So, we'll head to Talladega in a couple weeks and hopefully get another good run in there.
So there you have it from the '96 Ford Fusion and Mitch Rollo. Say not the ideal ending the way he wanted it. I mean, obviously happy for a podium, but yeah, I'm sure he was a little frustrated with the way that one ended because, like you talked about, he's definitely a clean racer, just kind of close quarter racing.
Well, you can hear in his voice, Gael, he was very dejected with himself, and I've known Mitch for a while, and he's just not a dirty racer. And we saw that in the replay. He just dove it in way too hard and got on the binders and it loosened him up, and he just had to chase his car up the track. But that's part of racing. That's part of Richmond Raceway. So he'll be all right. He got himself a third place. He'll be good. And if I'm not mistaken, you were sitting right next to our second place runner, Trey Edson.
Yep, I'll say I had Trey Edson right there next door in the number 40 Transervice Chevrolet Camaro. So it was a really impressive move. You're able to get to the top of Mitch Rollo there off of 4, and that seemed to be the way to do it to kind of get that position there. How'd you feel like your race went though?
That thing felt like a roller coaster. Once we kind of parked our cars there on pit road, and I figured I kind of took a breath. I didn't realize how much I was sweating. That setup was a handful. You just had to drive the living crap out of it. That's the best way I can describe it. iRacing's got some tweaking to do on the package for here because we were running, I think, 2 seconds faster than the real guys and hitting the chip. I mean, we were turning like 9,800 RPMs. I mean, we were just the whole run. So you just had to drive as hard as you could. There was no riding around trying to save anything. The tires didn't give up anything. You could just go. It was like qualifying laps over and over and over. But I pitted early, thought I made a mistake, put myself like 20th or so, and it's wild back there. I'm scared, still scared of what I saw. Never thought I would get back to the front, and just kind of played some strategy. Couldn't say we had lightning fast pit stops because I seemed to lose a spot every time we'd come in. But restart, just go as hard as you can. Like you said right there, I started to really. I felt like I was faster than Adam, Fuller, and Mitch right there, right before that. Mitch and Justin got into each other. I got a huge run on Mitch. I think he got loose, and there was a small hole, and the 40 machine was going in that hole, whether we wrecked or if he came up. But either way, that's where I was going. And we went down into 1. I feel like Mitch made a kind of a desperation move. I think he knew he was going to lose the spot to me, and he just kind of went down in there trying to get second from Fuller and washed up into him, and we slipped through there with minimal damage. And I don't want to say luck to a second, but to run from 5th to 10th all race and come home second, I'll take that any other night, any week.
Yeah, I'll say no. And you're right about the pit strategy. I say you and also Adam Gillen. There's a point where you guys pitted and a lot of the guys stayed out. And we were a little nervous about that. But I say I'm sure the extra $60 though from winning the English Auto Dash for Cash will help you feel a little bit better about that second place finish.
Yeah, I also that's another thing. We parked our car on the pit road and I got out and it kind of threw me off that I had green numbers, so I kind of forgot all about that as we were racing. So I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I'm the first one with green numbers and a green spoiler. So I think that means some green for me.
You are indeed correct. Say so. Yeah, congratulations on that. And of course, say want to give you your moment. Do you have any thanks or shout outs you'd like to say? You got the mic.
Yeah, man, all the time. I gotta thank Transervice. They're on board for the year, so I appreciate them. They've been good to me so far. It's cool that they sponsor the series, so put a little pressure on myself. I didn't get to run last week. We had some crazy big storms coming through my area. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, so we had some bad storms rolling through. And there's a rule in the league where if you sign up but you don't show up, you sit the next one. So I didn't even want to risk losing power or running 200 laps and my power goes out with one to go. I just didn't want to risk that. That would be frustrating. So I lost the point lead due to that. But so otherwise we'd have Transervice top of the board in their own series. But thanks Joey. He's doing a great job with the league. We got to clean up our racing a little bit. Just not in this series. It's across the board. And that doesn't go without me making my own mistakes. I've caused a caution or two. I got to thank Kick Ass Beef Jerky. They jumped on board in the truck series. They're also a sponsor of the league. You guys, I love going back and watching the broadcast the next day. You guys do a great job. So I appreciate everything you guys do.
So there you have it. Second place finisher Trey Edson, the number 40 Transervice Chevrolet Camaro, winner of the Dash for Cash, sponsored by English Auto. And then I believe our John Mustang has caught up in victory lane with Adam Gilliland.
Indeed, I have. Thank you, Gaio, for that interview with Trey Edson, and I am here in victory lane with Adam Gilliland. Adam, congratulations. One hell of a run there, buddy. It was up and down for you all night. Talk to me about your run.
Yeah, it was eventful, that's for sure. Really happy with how it turned out, though. It wasn't without overcoming some adversity. Started on pole and, kind of set sail there for a little bit, that first initial run. And I made the decision to pit thinking that tires were going to be pretty important, and the whole field stayed out. So after I got mired back there, kind of tore up the car a little bit, but fortunately through a little bit of strategy and staying out later in the race, I was able to get my track position back. And I got to honestly really thank the pit crew. I think it's crazy to say this, but at a short track, but the clean air was really important. I think whoever came out of pit road with like maybe 60 to go between me and Fuller was going to win that race, and it just so happened to be me having a good pit stop. So really happy with how the night turned out.
Well, I was going to say, you can't be too upset, man. You ran the fastest lap of the race. You led 107 laps. You start on the pole, and you come home with a win. So you did Texas proud tonight, son. You have anybody you want to thank for your victory?
Yeah, as always, just got to thank Brendan Mercer and Gary Mercer Trucking for always sticking by me. And like last week, I always enjoy going back and watching the broadcast. You guys do an excellent job. So thanks to you guys and everyone at Sim500 for putting this on.
Well, thank you so much, Adam, for the kind words. And we're looking forward to watching what you can do at Dega in a couple of weeks. Enjoy your time off. Happy Easter to you there, buddy. And congratulations again on the victory.
You as well. Thank you so much.
And that was Adam Gilliland, tonight's victor. Once again, he had a great run there, Gael. Like I said, he led 107 laps. That's more than half the race right there.
Yeah, no, Adam did a really good job. Like I said, he got behind on the pit strategy, but then he kind of then did his own pit strategy again afterwards to get back up front, and of course had to make some good moves. And like we did mention, he had a couple of really good pit stops, about a second faster than some of the other guys, and that kind of got him back up where he needed to do, and he was able to finish the job.
Absolutely. Well, we talked about this at the top of the show, that Richmond, just like Bristol, just like Martinsville, as a short track, is always a points killer. It's going to wreck that points standings no matter who does what. And we were right. This time, looks like Falkingham comes out on the good side of that. He's going to take over the lead of the points. Trey Edson comes up to second in the points. He's at 8 points behind Falkingham. Fuller drops back from first to third. Dave Comstock is in fourth, and Nick Silver is the fifth spot in the point standings right now. Of course, it's a little early in the series right now. It's only, I think, race number 9 of 40. Long way to go. But, just keeping tabs on points is always fun. Well, folks, that's going to be it for us here. Gael, before we wrap things up, you got any last thoughts of Richmond?
No, so that was an exciting one, like we talked about. Didn't quite get the green flag run we were hoping for, but I mean, sounds like just based on what Trey was saying, I mean, they had to run qualifying laps every race. It's just those tires would not wear out, so yeah, they had to pretty much go full tilt from the get go, and I say that's gonna happen with that kind of a setup.
Yeah, I mean, we covered that at the top of the show. I told you the tire wear was nothing when I ran earlier today. 200 laps, we had 14 cautions for 69 caution laps. That's unfortunate. It would have been a great race without those cautions, but hey, it is what it is. It's Richmond. Well, folks, that's going to do it for the Sim Racing Network and our coverage of the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series here on Monday nights. Make sure you tune in every week. If you want, you can just go find us on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Just search the Sim Racing Network. Give us a like, give us a follow, set up your notifications. You'll be notified every time we go live. We cover this series. We cover their Wednesday night series. We cover the Sunday night series. I mean, we do a lot of coverage. So just give us a like and a follow. Find out what we're doing every week and enjoy some racing on us. In the meantime, we're off next week. Don't forget that. We'll be back 2 weeks from tonight covering Talladega Speedway and the Transervice Cup Series. That's going to be a fun one. For myself, Gael Brooks, and down in the van, Aaron Groskopf, giving us these pictures. My name is John Mutchin. As always, please put your phone down on your travels. Your texting, your Facebooking, all that stuff can wait till we get you to your destination. Smile more often. Love each other. God bless each and every one of you. Have a happy Easter, and good night.